power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Alrighty, it's another Thursday, right here in the Docking Bay, DB94. I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And you could be listening to us on Sci-Fi.radio, Sci-Fi for your Wi-Fi. We're here 24/7 playing nerd music. Why? Because we're nerds. You could be watching us on Facebook or on Twitch or on YouTube.
Possibly.
Like or follow, subscribe, or do whatever thing makes you happy over there to let us know that you were there. And that would be awesome. I guess we all survived May the 4th.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Hallmark Star Wars holiday, because it's the one that like everybody markets stuff on and whatnot. So
yeah,
it's like that one. It's a greeting card holiday like Mother's Day.
yeah, pretty much.
We of course will be celebrating later on in the month Orthodox Star Wars Day, which is the 25th of May. But anyway, with that said, though, we had a good time nonetheless, right?
Nice.
I mean, I didn't do anything for the Hallmark holiday for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated because I'm trying to look up a photo and there's an ad that is taking up the entire page and won't let me.
You know, that's
Gotcha.
the rudest thing.
Yeah.
When they do that.
Yeah. I did one event and that was it. Then off home to work on the place for Prove It to, so.
Wow, I guess I'm the
pretty
guy
busy.
who did the most events that
You
weekend.
think?
Shocking.
I did 3. I did the one with Jeff in the morning. We did the Orange County Parade.
Yep.
And then I drove to Hollywood and I did the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Museum lightsaber training for their Star Wars Day, which was pretty neat. And then I went to the old Industrial Light and Magic video. Or building. I'm editing Colleen's video here. I'm trying to try to get her to match the rest of us by zooming.
Hi, Atel and Thorin. Hi, Alara. Hi, Alan, Sam, Pat.
So yeah, it was a busy day. Did some pretty fun stuff though. So let's see. So Jeff and I did the Orange County May Day Parade.
Yeah, the city of Orange, where I live.
And because it was on May the 4th, it was Star Wars themed.
Oh yeah, totally.
Go figure.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been in it. I live here.
Yeah, I don't think we've done that particular parade.
Yeah.
It was decent, though, although I have to say what they should have done, or perhaps it's something we could have forced.
Okay.
I didn't really force it. They could have put all of the Star Wars people together.
Yeah, it makes sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so there were like a handful of 501st and Rebel Legion people at the beginning.
Yeah.
Everybody did Star Wars themed stuff, every group, which was pretty cool. So like, one group made a bunch of Lego Starfighter
that was cool.
things on their golf carts, which were fun and that kind of thing. And, drill squads were wearing Star Wars costumes and things. And so everybody had a Star Wars theme, which was cool. But
hey, Chris.
The Saber Guild was in front of us.
Yeah.
And
that was interesting.
I feel that they could have put the Saber Guild with the 501st and the Rebel Legion and then put us behind. And we would have started with like a really big bang of Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they wanted to spread out the actual stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
But that's okay.
So
hey, Chris, and hey, Eric.
We did the parade with
and Kelly too.
The Star Car Central group, which was great. And so we were followed by Jurassic Park. Star came down with her Firefly truck from Fresno, which was cool. So we didn't have fonts, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that he was just busy. He got in an accident with his Tesla.
Oh dear.
So his Tesla's out of commission. He had a Tesla 3 with a Star
Yeah.
Wars wrap, and now he's got a Tesla Y, and he's got to redo his car.
Hope he's okay.
He is. He is.
Okay.
I saw him twice in like 4 days. It was amazing.
boy.
He was at the ILM event I did, and then
Oh.
we ran into him on Star Wars Nite. They were
Nice.
leaving as we went in. Yeah, it was super cool. So it was kind of fun.
Yeah, and and other than all the Star Wars, then they have a gigantic inflatable thing that was probably a slide or something, but it was a shark, gigantic shark.
It was pretty funny. I didn't entirely understand it, but I was
That was pretty damn funny.
quite amused by it.
Somebody had a shark car?
No,
Mm-mm.
it was a shark.
Like
Like inflatable, like an inflatable
plaything?
slide that they were using as a float.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm looking for Jeff's thing right now.
Oh yeah, I posted it on my page. Yeah.
Well, you also sent it to me
Mm-hmm.
directly as a message, and so I'm trying to find it. But
Yeah.
we message
With
a lot, so
Yeah,
finding
it was the
is a challenge.
with the title of "We're Gonna Need a Bigger Street."
We're going to need a bigger street.
It was
That's funny.
pretty funny. I can't actually find it here. As a side note, Jeff, I went to go check out that 1951 Studebaker down the street in Culver City.
Oh yeah.
It is on its way to Florida on a truck.
Oh whoa.
Rude.
Damn.
Somebody bought it. It was $9,000. Somebody snapped it
Yeah.
up, and it is now on the way.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, real bummer. So, oh well, say Laguerre. I can't find that
Laguerre.
picture. I don't know where it is.
Messenger.
Thank
to,
I
um,
wonder if I can remember
there
what
you
I
go.
did this weekend.
I sent it to you. I took a video too about it. I don't know if we want to put that in there.
Oh, there it is. Okay. The it was pretty funny because it really does. It looks like a thing you're supposed to climb up and then like slide out of the shark's mouth.
That is
Yeah.
wacky.
But I don't know if that's true. So that's the picture of it.
Yeah.
And it's not very Star Warsy,
No.
but
It was supposed to be a Star Wars parade?
Yeah.
yes, the entire theme of the parade was May the 4th be with you.
Wow.
Yeah. All I can think is that maybe because of John Williams in the music, so Jaws.
Right.
That's all I can figure.
Huh.
That's I'll accept it, but
Yeah.
that's probably not even true.
Yeah, no. Yeah, probably not, no. Uh-oh. The Lady A, howdy.
But
Um,
that's really funny.
Susie. Hello, Susie. Susie Honeybees. All right.
Oh,
Yeah. More
hey,
people-
Susie.
Hey,
yeah.
cool.
Nice.
I did like a 1 minute thing where I walked past all of our cars at our entry with a video before the parade ever started. So I have that video.
Cool.
That's all I got.
Oh. Super fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I was looking for pictures that I took this weekend, and it's hard to find them, but I think I have them organized here. I guess I have to go all the way back to May the 4th here, though,
Yeah.
and let me copy those over so that we can take a look at them.
But yeah. It was neat to do that. It was not a really long parade. It was like less than a mile.
And that caused
You
us
know-
a bit of a problem because they had a thing that said, okay, it's a really short parade, so you should stagger yourselves and stretch each other out because it's whatever. And then we started rolling, and then somebody else walked up and like, okay, go 2 by 2 now.
Yeah, because we had 25 cars, so they wanted us to be, 2 by 2.
I counted 21. I must have missed some.
Or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they looked at the little list and
Yeah,
kind
so it was
yeah.
you. So Jeff led the parade as the local. Like,
Yeah.
You live here. You should lead
Yeah.
the parade.
That's cool.
And so
I guess
Jeff
so.
led the parade, and we had 2 rows of 10 rows of 2 cars
That's right.
behind each one. And so, yeah, it was neat. And very festive and an appreciative,
Yeah.
funny. And in fact, somebody came up to me today at the event that we did this morning. That was like, we saw you in the parade,
Oh yeah.
which was great.
Fun is that?
We saw your cars, yeah. So where was the event? Costa Mesa today that we did.
Today in Costa Mesa. That one was the what did they call it? It was the I Lead Science and Engineering Space Spectacular.
Right.
That was the one today?
It was actually
Yeah,
super
it was like
fun.
the
So
Presbyterian Church.
back in the old days when we were in school, they made us do dioramas. And the dioramas were things like, do a California mission or read a book and
Yeah.
then do a scene from the book or whatever. And they usually involved shoeboxes. And, you would recreate a scene from the book in the shoebox and everyone would go, hey, great cardboard. Well, so this is the same kind of thing, except because, STEM is a thing now. This was two different sections of the school. So like the preschool, kindergarten, like first, second grade guys got together and they made satellites. And so someone would take a milk carton and put solar panels on it and glue gemstones and do this stuff. And then they'd have a little card and it said, my satellite is called, Space Carton. And its job is to explore the Earth from space. And so everybody had this little thing, and that was kind of cool. And then the like third grade to sixth grade guys, or maybe it went older than that, I don't know. They did Mars bases.
Yeah.
So they did these entire dioramas of what their base on Mars would look like. And so some of them just had like a bunch of little rectangular containers all glued together. And then others are like, well, if you take this level off, you can see the living arrangements. If you take this level off, you can see the hydroponics lab. And if you take this level off, it's the sewage system.
Was it like the parents were involved, or was this like the kids actually did all the work?
I think
Kids
the kids
actually
made
did
all
it.
this.
So they were
Damn.
both awesome and crappy at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And so like
Entertaining.
Like one of them had the fuzzy koala Pikachu base. And,
Yes.
And it was kind of fuzzy and it had a koala and they had taken the top of a Pikachu.
That was the name of it?
That was the name of the base.
Oh.
And they had taken the top of a Pikachu Happy Meal and attached it as the roof with the Pikachu ears sticking up.
Wow.
And then there was the one I told you about, Colleen, that looked like a turtle. And so they had taken, they made cylindrical legs and wrapped them with green paper out of paper towel tubes. And then they had a big clear dome that was the sort of, hydroponics lab that looked like the turtle shell. And they put a little turtle face on the front of it. And it was, they're like, we made a turtle because we didn't want it to be boring. And they were really great.
They had a lot of really interesting stuff these kids did.
It was kind of nuts. And
Well, it sounds like a really fun event.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They had us for like an hour and a half, and they really only needed us for about half hour. So.
I have a couple of pictures from the parade, it turns out.
Oh, there you go. But they had like, most of them had like windmill power and like hydroponics and other stuff. So
I had my doubts about the windmill power on Mars. I mean, I guess there's wind on Mars.
Yeah, they have windstorms.
But my favorite was the one of them had two pools. One was a water supply pool, and one was a recreation pool. Some of them had basketball courts. It was pretty funny. They had some really interesting ideas with these things. But the kids did all the work. It was
totally. They did it all themselves.
Wow.
That's good. Hey, Don.
And so somebody had obviously what was like a plastic container that had like Cadbury cream eggs in it, and that was a bunch of suspended animation pods which were
Oh,
really
yeah.
funny. But to hear the kids explain
What a suspended
suspended animation was. So you go in there and you go to sleep and you wake up, and when you wake up, hundreds of years have gone by. That's like, wow, what technology do you use to do that? Nothing. You just sleep in there. Like, wow, okay. I would like that now, please.
Hibernate like a bear.
That
Come
would be
on.
terrific.
So remember that in your genetic code.
Right. This was one of the golf carts during
Silly.
the parade. They made a tie interceptor,
Yeah.
which was really very amusing.
They made that one thing that we still can't figure out what the hell it was.
Right, but they put dots on it. That's the only reason we knew it was Lego. I'm like, did you make
Yeah.
Lego ships? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
So
put,
like the interceptor, there's X-wing, and then the other thing.
this is the X-wing. The X-wing was like really huge. And honestly, these are kind of adorable. And I think
Yeah.
these were college students. I don't remember
Yeah.
what their group was. They knew us, though, which was
Yeah.
weird because we walked over to say hi, and they're like, oh, my gosh, it's you guys, which was really funny. Oops. There was a
Probably
helicopter.
they probably came from Santiago.
This was Floor, or Flower, she goes by, too. She's got she had a Morris Minor car, a British Morris Minor, and she
Yeah.
took her luggage rack and she built this pod for Grogu on the back.
Yeah.
And put laser guns on it, and did whatever. And then she had
Yeah.
our friend Nikki dressed as Leia as her ride along, which was really funny. So
Yeah.
there's Nikki on the in the car, which is pretty cool. So fairly
yeah.
fairly creative.
Yeah. Hi there, Vicky. You're welcome, Sissy.
Cops, of course, on the route. So there's Jeff leading the parade. I didn't get some. And
Later.
then this is our buddy who's new to the group. He lives
Yeah.
around the corner from us, and
Right.
he's got this NSX race car
Yeah.
that he legitimately takes it to the track. He legitimately races with it, and he did his theme based on Wedge's helmet markings.
Okay.
And so he's got a cool wrap. And I actually did an event with him Monday, which
Okay.
was cool. But it's a neat looking car.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he rebuilt the car. It was in pretty rough shape, and he's done a really great job with it. It's really fun. But yeah, this is most of my view during the parade. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I had the Saber
hurt
Guild that
myself.
would do some maneuver, stop, do some maneuver, stop, do some maneuver, stop, whatever. And you know.
Yeah, it was so slow. The whole parade
Yeah.
was like really slow, but it wasn't that long. It was like a half of a mile or something.
Yeah.
We walked.
Yeah.
We went down the road.
So it was basically like the Westchester Parade.
Kind of. We went down the road, and then we went around three
I think the
quarters
Westchester one's
of.
longer.
We went around 3/4 of the traffic circle in the middle
Yeah.
of Orange, which was funny. This is the Death Star. This is the Academy Museum, and they have a big
Okay.
meeting area that all looks like the Death Star, which is kind of funny. So, obligatory picture of the Death Star. I don't know that I got any pictures of my actual event. I think Ryan sent me one as I was training, because Ryan and Becca were there, apparently. And but they had this 5-foot-long fan-created model of the Millennium Falcon, which is just absolutely insane. It
Wait,
has-
That's
which
cool.
which event was this?
This is the Academy,
Okay.
the event at the Academy.
Nice.
So they had this model set up. They had an X-wing model set up, and also the Dykstra Flex camera was there. And so these models were the targets of the Dykstra Flex camera. And so you can see all of the gear around it that like runs this camera on a big boom arm. There's dolly track there. That's a good picture.
Theater.
Really good. So here's the X-wing on the end of the control arm, which is really cool. And these are all fan-made models that are meant to match the studio scale models. So here's the entire camera. You see the boom arm, the Falcon's over there on the left, the X-wing's in the center, and the control unit on the right-hand side is how they control the camera. And all of the data is stored on audio cassettes, like you would listen to in a Walkman. And then they load the cassette into the computer, and that controls the camera, which was just absolutely
old school.
nuts.
Yeah, old school stuff there, man.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good display. These guys were explaining it in pretty great detail. Although somebody asked him a question about mats and how mats work when they do special effects, and he's like, "Well, all of that's been replaced by Photoshop now." To which I said, "Well, but Photoshop was created by the guy who now runs ILM, so John Knoll. So it has come full circle."
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought I had a close up. Here we go. That's pretty much. This is the control unit that is so old school over here that it's all like knobs and dials and things. And when you put the cassette tape in, you put them in these two units here in the center, the white squares. One of them is called JAWS, and one of them is called JAWS 2. And because of those particular names, this was a particular unit that was used to control all of the motion control for the camera of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So they named these JAWS and JAWS 2. And the reason they're called JAWS is because they kept eating the cassette tapes.
Yeah, I imagine.
You would put the cassette tape in there, and it would get
probably
chomped
their
on.
fingers.
Yeah. Anyway, this stuff was really neat. And what was really funny is that after seeing this, I then... Oh, there's Kahuniga. Just because.
Kahuniga.
Kahuniga.
What?
Yeah, so Jeff and I were driving around with a guy who's like, "Oh, you got to make like a right on Kahuniga." Like, Kahuniga?
Yeah, just
What's
like
Kahuniga?
look back at him like, what
And
did you say?
it took us forever to realize he meant Kawenga.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you should have realized right away when you heard Kahuniga.
Kahuniga.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
It's hysterical.
I don't know why I have a thing. Oh, when I parked at my next event, I hit 50,000 in the morning. I hit 50,100 when I pulled into the parking lot of the Industrial Light and Magic building, which is this building here. It's 6842, and it's still there. It is now a sign shop. Both this building and the tan one on the right, which is one of the auction houses I deal with now, both of those were ILM and Grant McCune buildings. And so they set up this theater in the parking lot, and instead of using a projection screen, they had a big LCD screen, LED screen, like you see the billboards. They had one of those on a riser, which was super cool. They let us park our cars in there. Sean Christofides showed up with his Star Tours van. I was there with my car, and they're like, "Do you want to park these inside?" And I'm like, "Okay." Except dummy me didn't get any pictures of that because I'm a dummy. But and here's a picture of the Dijkstraflex camera at ILM when they were doing this in 1976. Nice. Yeah, it was great. And so the parking lot we were in is where this famous picture was taken of the land speeder, which we've seen. And of course, they blew up the Death Star in there, all sorts of stuff. And the Neiman Company makes architectural signs. So they make the giant numbers that you see in front of buildings, which was cool. So, but they were totally on board. They were given tours. They were doing all this great stuff. And of course, as a sign shop, they are equally goofy as ILM was and as creative, which was great.
Nice.
This is a recreation of a famous picture of X-Wing parts. And one of the model makers, I think it was Frank Cerny, did it. He not only did he completely recreate everything with all of the parts of the X-Wing as they showed up in that famous picture, he also found the exact pair of 1977 sunglasses and threw them in the mount on the board too. These are the kind of people that I absolutely adore. People who do that kind of stuff. This is a real piece of the Death Star down here. It was 2 feet by 2 feet. It's huge. And the guy who had it used to work at ILM, and he worked at Apogee after that. And he just shoved a piece. He pulled it out of the dumpster and he threw it in his closet. And so he had this, and then he had this matte painting, which is done with the same paint that they used on the Death Star model to get it the same look. And it's got a cutout in the notch so they could put stars behind it and stuff. And he had that in his closet too. So Joe Johnston painted this,
Nice.
which is super cool.
That's pretty neat.
There were a bunch of fan-made models, like earlier. This Jedi training remote on the right was the one that was used in Fanboys. So I actually held it on set on Fanboys years and years ago when we were shooting that. Frank sent it in as a thing to be in there, which was really cool. Let's see here. Yeah, lots of little pieces and stuff that were all recreated from these studio scale models of like TIE fighters and things. There was an X-wing, or a Y-wing rather, that was really neat. And almost nobody builds Y-wings. They all want X-wings, but the Y-wing was super cool. And these were as accurate to scale as possible to what they used in the film. And so bringing these to ILM was pretty great. I saw this. I think this is part of the Indiana Jones ride. But
that's what it looks like.
I can't figure out where it is. And I just went through the ride the other night, and I didn't exactly see it. But it's a resin thing that was just sitting there. I probably wasn't.
Is it from like the fountains outside, or is it from the part where the snake jabs at you at the ride?
No, where the snake jabs at you is smaller, and this is bigger. This is smaller than the ones on the pylons out there too. So I don't know what it is. It's really weird, but it was there for some reason. I probably wasn't even supposed to take a picture of it. But the whole shop here is very much the way it was when they did ILM here. And also, this is where Spaceballs was done, a lot of Energizer Bunny commercials and stuff. They did Air Force One here. Lots and lots of movies were shot in this location. And it's huge. And like the model shop was in one part, and they had camera setups in the other. I recommend you watch a movie called 5/25/77, which kind of recaps this in a sort of semi-autobiographical way from a kid who was there back in the day. He was the first kid who got to see Star Wars in its pre-constructed thing, because somebody took him to ILM and showed him around and introduced him to Spielberg and whoever was there, which was really funny. Okay. This is a sign that I think is going to get installed right down the street from us. 15,000 Aviation Boulevard, I think, is right down the street from us. I thought that was weird. Joe Johnston dressed up as a space trooper. They had all of these great pictures in really huge sizes and great resolution, explaining to you where everything was.
Gotcha.
There was a B-wing that was really nicely done. Another studio scale thing. That Death Star piece again. And then this is the old art department, and they put all sorts of drawings and stuff up in the old art department. And so this picture on the wall of Joe Johnston standing there, that's where he was in the room. The window is to the left, and that's exactly where he was standing.
Oh, that's wild.
And that kind of stuff was just like really neat, because you're like, man, oh my God, like 50 years ago, this is where all this stuff was. And so it was just a really cool thing to be able to walk through there, check all that stuff out. And then, of course, they screened the movie outside. The temperature wasn't too bad. They had a couple of people who were selling Star Wars collectibles and stuff. The people who organized this, and I'm a dummy because I left their card in my, I think I left it in my car. But this was, they're not connected with the Valley Relics Museum, but they're that kind of thing where they just do events in the San Fernando Valley to promote the San Fernando Valley. So like later in the year, they might do a Cobra Kai tour or a Karate Kid tour or something, and show you all those locations and things like that. And it was actually really nice. It wasn't too cold. The sound system and the video were terrific. Everybody was super cool. We just had a great time, and the picture was so good and so bright and so crisp that I could take legit photographs of all this stuff, which was super cool. And I'm really glad I've got to go. I missed this for the past couple years,
Yeah.
and was very disappointed that I had, because it just sounded really cool. I don't think I have anything else. Oh,
Nice.
this was the event that we did on Monday, which was at Northrop Grumman. Somebody asked us to come down. Chris Sithspawn asked us to come down. He's got the Mustang, the Star Wars Mustang. One guy was so excited that we were there, he went into his office and brought out his Lego capital ship on a cart. He had to show it to us, so that's why that was there. And he was excited that I had the same logos on my car. And so we had 3 Star Wars cars there, which were cool. Myself, the NSX, and Sith Spawn, which was good. And it was a real short event. We just had enough time hanging out. Some 501st guys came out. They had a Myers-Briggs test to tell you what Star Wars character you were. They had me pegged as an Ewok. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that.
Does it make you feel a little short?
A little short. But yeah, anyway, we had a really good time doing all this kind of nerdy stuff, and I'm glad May the 4th is over, though. Kind of.
I had
relax.
I had an event on Friday before May, so May the 3rd, so it was a different day. That was at Top of the World Elementary in Laguna Beach.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that was why when I got home, I had to go and fix the brakes of my car. But
yeah, that's brutal. You got it done.
It was like, oh yeah, it was like insane hills, like San Francisco. I'm like, why is this so steep?
Wow.
But the event was fun. We basically just got dressed, and they brought a bunch of kids. We're in like an auditorium, and so we stood on a stage in front of a curtain. They played a short little video, and the kids came in and asked questions. So we got to answer kids' questions, and that was pretty much it. It was pretty short.
Wow.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Did you?
What do you guys eat?
Did you drop to your knees like Jimmy Cagney and yell "Top of the world, Ma"? It seems like somebody would have to do that. It seems.
Yeah. But it was interesting. I mean, I was leaving and I'm like, oh gosh, I have about this much gas left and the traffic's really bad, so I'd circle back around and find a gas station. Because the route it was sending me, I'm like, wow, the cars aren't actually moving. That's not good. So I had to U-turn and go back and find gas and take a different route home. Yeah, and then I went to go work on the house and then did that again on the weekend. So work. But painting and stuff, yeah.
The greatest joy is the joy of duty.
There are monkey boys in the facility.
That's funny. Colleen and I went to Star Wars Nite with her family.
Well, I also, on Friday, Sean and I went to a company party.
That's true. We went to a barbecue.
Yeah. Which was hard because Sean was trying to finish cutting a video, and I was like, I need to go to this company thing with me.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well, and it was a thing that I wanted to do. I mean, because I like all those people, and so I definitely wanted to hang out with everybody, and barbecue. I love barbecue, so it's not like it was a terrible twist my arm kind of situation.
Right.
But and it was fun and it was great. And I got the video done at 2 a.m. the next day, which meant I got it done in time for May the 4th for Alan to put it up for the Upland Museum library teaser. Because we're trying to get everybody to go to the Upland Library. We did one in October that was lightly attended. We would like to fix that this year. We want more people to, and it's moved back to May where we usually hold it. So.
Gotcha.
It's almost always around Memorial Day, and so it is actually on Orthodox Star Wars Day this year. Yeah, so I got it done, and everything was great, and yeah, we made it.
Funny.
Cool.
I hung out on Saturday, and then I ended up going to lunch with a group of friends who were touring a hotel for Costume College to see what changes they're making to make this year better than last year. So that was kind of cool.
Okay.
And then, on Tuesday, we went to Star Wars Nite. Monday, my whole week has been very different because Monday I ended up leaving work early because my brother and sister-in-law came in town, and Sean, on the
Okay.
way home from his event, swung by their hotel and picked them up and brought them here. And then we walked over nearby to the nearest ramen place, which is like 2
Okay.
blocks from our house.
Because there is a farther ramen place.
There's one on the other side of the street, and there's one on the other side of Westchester. So there are 2. And they also serve ramen in that place we don't like that used to be.
Humble Potato.
No, that's the one we went to. The one that we don't like is the pho time.
Oh, that used to be Sansai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So poor Sean, braved it. There was one item on the menu that he was okay with. So
I survived. It wasn't great, but I lived.
yeah. But then on Tuesday we went to Star Wars Nite,
We did.
and that was
We had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
So Colleen and I, in our costumes, in front of the TARDIS that is currently hanging out in downtown Disney, which is pretty funny. So I went with the old Luke work clothes, and Colleen went with her handmaiden costume, which was cool.
Cool.
And I'm glad I went with this one because I was going to do Obi-Wan, but I figured a lot of people would be dressed as Jedi, and I was correct. I was not wrong about that. So
my choices were. I suppose I could have done a
Cool.
Jedi, but it was
Yeah.
between this Battle Padme and my regular Disney bound, and I decided to go with the Battle Padme because I wear the Disney bound all the time,
right.
and I'm kind of glad I did, but it was really sweaty because it's a lot of velvet.
Colleen's brother was the rebel spy.
Wow.
Although that is just such a bad picture.
Well, all the rebel spy pictures are bad.
Yeah, they're
It's
not very
hard
good.
to tell that it's him.
But-
He's got this weird Hitler hair going
it was,
on.
It was so bad his wife didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
That was the funny thing.
Right.
And this one's a little hard to see. This is our buddy Rob, who is in the Star Tours scene for Hoth. So he was going to loan his Hoth costume to Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill couldn't make it. They said, "Hey, it fits you. You want to do it?" He's like, "Sure."
boy.
And now he's in Star Tours forever, which
Man,
is funny,
that's got to be pretty cool to have them say, hey,
right?
he's not available. But you've had that a couple times where they've said someone's not available. Can you step in?
Yes, yes, I have. I am not,
training
however,
lightsaber.
in Star Tours, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
Like, you are not.
Yeah.
Did you want to know how blue milk gets to the market? In blue milk crates.
That's
Oh,
not
boy.
even a dad joke. It's so bad.
Hiya Tracy, hi Rose, hi Lisa.
This was us on Space Mountain. we were very. Colleen's like, I will do it once, so we did it once.
I wasn't happy about it.
Little pirates. We kept trying to find the Pizza Planet truck, and so we're taking pictures. I'm like, I cannot find
It's supposed to be there
the
somewhere.
Pizza Planet truck. I know it's in here somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
never
think
found
I
it.
thought it was supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be up by the Aztec or whatever the heck.
And it
was
probably is.
treasure.
It's probably right below it. I probably missed it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's hard to spot this stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, I took a bunch of Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. I'm looking for more Star Wars stuff. Well, we found the Pizza Planet accordion in the treehouse, which was
I
very
said-
fun.
I found a picture from the ride of Indiana Jones, not the queue, and put it in the chat. I wonder if that's the same as the one that you found a Cobra of at the place.
I don't know. I guess I didn't take very interesting pictures of us at
Oh dear.
No.
at the thing. I'm like, where are all of us? I took lots of ride pictures.
Yeah.
We found this person dressed as Amidala, so Colleen, of course, got a picture, which was pretty
Cool.
good. and this
I need better shapewear.
in the
My
droid.
belly's
These
a
are,
little
like,
big.
Spanx for Colleen.
Yeah.
And then they had a really nice setup for Amidala at the Princess Pavilion.
Oh, neat.
But we could not get a good picture of me.
It took us a while to find her.
It was frustrating how long it took to find her because
Yeah,
they
it
had
was
this
very-
map, and it said that Amidala was in Fantasyland.
Yeah, but they didn't
Jeff,
say
can you
where.
guess where she was in Fantasyland?
Fantasyland?
Well,
Yeah, guess where she was.
I can't. I based on the photo, I have no idea. But gosh, I'll say.
She was in the Princess Pavilion
Is
Out-
that geez,
outside-
really?
over on Main Street.
outside the castle were the old Carnation Gardens, where
Wow.
Colleen's like, I can't find her. I don't know
Okay.
where. I'm like, we should
Okay.
look over here, and we went over there, and there she was.
Yeah.
If we crop one of these pictures, it probably won't be too bad.
Oh, good.
I think we can get you a good one. But we did go back for a second round because it was just so hard to get a decent picture.
Right.
And
Because
then
what
she
they
did come down to talk to kids, which was
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
So she not only looked the part, her voice sounded like Natalie Portman.
she was on it.
She was
just
really good.
Really nailed it. Whoever
Yeah.
this
Oddly
is, and
she was oddly
Andrew may
robotic.
know or somebody may know. Whoever this is, she was amazing.
Yeah, she was she nailed it.
Her improv skills were not the best because she had like 5 phrases that she could say.
Oh no.
Unless that she was limited by Disney in that way, but she really looks like Natalie Portman in this getup. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the quality interactions. We were waiting in line for a photo op, and so we got Captain Phasma's march, which was
Gotcha.
pretty good, or at least I got one picture before somebody walked in front of me, as always happens. Always someone walks in front of me. But hey, they got their picture, so all is well. But yeah, so that was kind of
I'm sure
fun.
there have been plenty of times when you've unknowingly walked in front of someone taking a picture too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
try to be really aware of that, though. Colleen is leaving me. She's leaving me for this guy.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Sad. Yeah.
Well,
He's-
Kermit and Miss Piggy have a kid.
He's just cuter than me. Anyone else want bacon now? I do.
No.
And then, of course, everything was like red and blue for the Sith and the Jedi. So yeah, it was all told it was pretty fun. And there's Brad and Janine at the car at the end of the night. So it was
So
decent.
you must not have downloaded all the pictures yet.
No, I haven't. And in reality, I suppose I could go to look up our photo pass.
So we should actually he showed some pictures, but the review of Star Wars Nite is that it was the map that they gave you was focused on the food, like they had images of all the food that they had. But I personally didn't think they had that great of options for the food.
Well,
So, Don, Sean found the pizza truck in the Droid Depot like a week ago.
Yeah, we did. We found
Yeah.
it.
So I didn't think the food choices were that inspired. And the images that they had were so itty bitty that it was difficult to really tell. You're like, okay, it's a picture of a thing. The meal that we've talked about here before that was something that they made with 2 crab claws sticking out of it.
okay.
We couldn't even tell what that was until I finally remembered. Janine said, it looks like a crab claw. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm looking at it this way and I'm looking at that way and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is a crab claw. And she's like, they made a crab claw into pastry because we couldn't even tell that
boy.
it was savory from the picture and the description. And so then I said, no, that is an actual crab claw. So it was like they were trying to push food that I wasn't that thrilled with, so it didn't excite me. And then they had the photo ops, and there were a lot of photo ops, so you really had to kind of choose because there were long lines. Like this particular line had Jabba the Hutt and
Han and Carbonite.
the monkey lizard,
Yes.
because they did a separate picture of the monkey lizard.
That's
and,
the monkey
Oh,
lizard.
okay. Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, so I can never remember his name. And Han Solo. For that whole line, they told us it would be 45 minutes, and it was.
And it never got below 45 minutes. We checked like 3 times over the
Yeah.
evening, and it was always 45 minutes.
And so we ended up going and doing it as our very last thing, and I think we got out of there like just after 1:00, which is when it closed.
Wow.
Yeah. And one of the interesting things is we rode Rise of the Resistance. We were the last people on Rise of the Resistance.
Wow.
We went through the entire ride and did not see one other car. Like
It was
really strange.
really both strange and cool because
Yeah.
normally you can totally tell that you're on a ride.
Because you see other people.
Yeah, you
and
see
they-
another car
No,
with other
it was
people in it.
Just
We were
us.
in the front of the car, and there weren't any other cars. So, like when you go and Kylo Ren he is talking to
Hux.
one of the Weasleys,
Yeah.
Hux. Yeah, we're gonna call him Hux Weasley from now on.
Hux.
And then Kylo Ren turns around and looks at you and yells at you. Normally, you see the other car coming towards you, and you're like, "Is that a mirror? No, that's a different car." And then you go up, and he looks at both of you, and then your cars go away.
Yeah.
You were alone the whole time.
We didn't have that. There was no
There
other.
was no other car.
No other car with the AT-ATs. No
And it
other
wasn't even
car
like there was an empty car there.
anywhere.
There was none.
Yeah,
And,
it was
and so
really
it was
bizarre.
It was really cool, kind of.
Colleen and I had a speeder bike battle.
I
Yeah.
see that.
That was fun.
Very fun.
So we were trying to decide, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And I think that, like, if you were buying tickets as a one-off, that it is worth it because the park is a little less crowded. We got on a lot of rides, but I don't, like, as an additional thing, the way we did it, if it comes to next year and they have Star Wars Night on again, and if I have an annual pass, I wouldn't do Star Wars Night.
They would have to really mix it up and make it different from what it was this year. Because the biggest complaint that we heard from people who went last year was this year was exactly the same.
But the other thing was that
Bummer.
there was a lack of communication about what things were.
Yeah.
Because there was
Yeah.
something that was called Cavalcade of Costumes. And we're like, okay, I guess that's
It
a
sounded like
parade.
a parade of people who had dressed up.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
we happened to stumble across it after coming out of the photo op with Queen Amidala. And it was, they had all of the people who had been in the parade, which was like 200 people?
Something like that.
Maybe, stand in front of the castle, and Mickey and Minnie and an MC took a picture with the 200 people.
Yeah.
We would have liked to have
Nice.
done that.
We would have totally done
had
that.
we realized that that's what that meant.
And I kept
Nice.
trying to get into the lightsaber meetup, and I go to plenty of lightsaber meetups, but I thought, oh, it'll be
Yeah,
right there.
geez.
I'll walk out and see. And it was so
Nuts.
crazy, jam-packed full of people
Yeah.
that I just kind of blew it off. I walked out, I looked at it, I walked back into docking bay 7 and back to our table. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a few things that just, like, you would frequently see a crowd, and you're like, why is there a crowd there? That looks like it's intentional, not like it's just a mob. And you couldn't really figure out what was going on. Or you would walk by a place, and it took you forever to figure out that was a photo opportunity, because it was like in a weird place, kind of hidden. Like part of the Star Tours line was used for a photo op with Luke and Leia,
Gotcha.
and maybe C-3PO and R2.
Hey, Liz, thank you for subscribing.
So
Yeah, so it was fun, but I'm not sure that I would do it. And even my brother said that he had fun, but he would rather have a full day at Disneyland and feel more relaxed than the way that it was, which was, you felt like you had such a short amount of time that you kind of were hurrying for everything.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, even the Halloween ones are like that, where you're running around to do everything.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun. And then we went last night yesterday afternoon. We went and picked up my brother and his wife and Janine after lunch, and we went over and walked around Manhattan Beach and kind of looked around, got an ice cream, and then came back to the house and hung out for a while. And then we went to Rubio's because they used to live in San Diego. And, well, actually, Brad and Janine and I all used to live in San Diego. And it was nice to go to Rubio's, which originated there. Are you okay over there, Sean?
Yeah, I'm trying to deal with Twitch over here, and of course it sent a thing to my phone, and now I have to find this code, and it's
Okay.
that 2-step thing, and it's just giving me grief over here. And I'm dropping my phone and all of that.
Gotcha.
I see. And then, yeah, Sean did his event today after his show. And sadly, so yesterday, I found out that my boss was going to go to Disneyland. He sent a message saying, "Oh, I'm going to be out. I have a last-minute trip to Disneyland, so I'm going to go deal with that." So I sent him a quick message, and I said, "You have your reservation, right?" And he's like, "What do I need a reservation for?" And I'm all, "Oh my God, you need a reservation for Disneyland." And after several minutes of back and forth, it turned out that when he bought his ticket, they threw him straight to the reservation page. So like you buy your ticket, they throw you straight to the reservation page, and then he bought it for that day. I think he bought the ticket yesterday because it was very last minute. And so I got him a reservation at a restaurant that unfortunately he wasn't able to use because he was there with a really big party of people. There were 15 people going. And not all of them had park hoppers. And so I had gotten him Carthay Circle reservations and he couldn't use them. And
Bummer.
he hasn't been to Disneyland in like 10 years. So he was very much not expecting the changes that have occurred, and he was really unhappy with them because he felt like the cast members were dismissive and kind of rude. Like I told him to go try and get a walk-up for Blue Bayou. And so he went and he said that the person who was at the door wouldn't even look up to talk to him. He just was basically, "There are no reservations, go away."
There is no.
And apparently he tried to sit down in many places that you're not allowed to sit down and got yelled at. And
I have that problem all the time.
Yeah, there are definitely not enough places to sit.
Well,
in
because
Disney.
they took them all out for strollers.
Yeah.
Or pin
That
traders.
one, like the pixie dust thing or stardust thing they did. They're all, we're going to get rid of all this.
It's exhausting. All
What
the places
do you mean pixie dust?
That was they called the
It was like
program.
Stardust or pixie
The
dust,
pixie
whatever they
dust
called it,
programs.
where they went through and got rid of like a ton of benches and changed.
It was-
That's the
That was the code name of the project.
Oh, lame.
And that's when they took out the other part of the tree for the tree house and all that kind of
okay.
stuff. They tried to make everything so that there's more space to walk, but there is absolutely zero place to sit now.
Wow.
Yeah.
There were all these planters and stuff in Adventureland, and there were more benches in Frontierland, and they're all gone.
So basically, he said he never wants to go to Disney again.
That's too
He
bad.
was so, and he was so regretful that he hadn't asked Sean and I sooner. And I was like, okay, so part of the problem is that you were there with 15 people. And they were saying to me, no, it was fine because a lot of them were kids and the mom was really, doing everything and taking care of all the things. And I said, no, it's just that everything takes longer and there's more decisions to be made. And even if you don't have to make the decision, you have to stand there while someone else is making the decision. It just makes everything longer. And, it's harder to get into a restaurant because you have to find places for 15 people to sit. And they were like, no, because, we'd go on the rides and we'd say party of 15 and we'd get right on. And I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
because it's just such a challenge. I don't like going in large groups because it is such a challenge to go. It's really, it just ends up being a more frustrating day unless you are totally, I don't mind as much when I have an annual pass going with a big group because you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. If everybody takes 3 hours to figure out what they're going to do, it's no big deal because, I'll just do my thing the next time I come.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
Yeah. So should we get on with, now that we've talked for an hour? Or should we let Sean do the top of the hour and then go ahead?
Yeah, we can do it after the top of the hour.
Let's see if there's anything. We do have a couple Disney things maybe we can get in before the top of the hour. Unfortunately, and this is just really depressing to me, there is no more piano player at the Golden Horseshoe.
Yeah, I'm really bummed
Bummer.
about this.
So disappointing.
There was Eric, and I think Matt was the other one. They were very different. Eric is the guy with the bowler hat who likes to jazz everything up. Matt is the guy who likes to let you sing along, and so he does everything kind of straight. So
I
that
loved them both.
You can sing well. They're very different, but they were very entertaining. And I think there's even a third one who I don't remember.
Yeah.
But you would go and you would sit in the Golden Horseshoe, and they would do a show every hour, and it was great. And you sang along with songs, and they would have fun. And if one of them saw you dressed as Star Wars stuff, they'd play the Cantina theme, and it was just a blast. And they just ended it last weekend.
It's not even like they said, okay, at the end of the summer, this will be done, because then you could go and say goodbye to them.
It was like, it's over Saturday. Sorry, you lose.
Yeah.
And it was a drag. So we were there Saturday. It wasn't even worth going into the Golden Horseshoe because they weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really bums me out.
Bummer.
Whenever it happened that it ended, it was just after, or we had just missed them. I
right.
think.
It was basically, they announced that Friday
let's
was the
see.
last day or something. It was just a real drag. And it's,
Yeah, May 4th was the last day, and we found out on May 1st.
Yeah. And it was just a nice thing to do. And, they already got rid of the big giant show
Although
that they used to do
it
there.
does say in this,
they got
it's a
rid of the show.
Facebook post that someone said, please go to City Hall and let them know that you're disappointed by this. So I'll have to do that the next time I'm in the park.
Yeah. I mean, they got rid of both of the shows. So what they do now?
I don't think they're going to have a show at Horseshoe.
Yeah.
They're just going to it'll be like a snack bar.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
it was just a super, super, super bummer. And, I mean, it had such a great kind of, even though it wasn't, Billy Hill and the Hillbillies, or it wasn't the Wally Bogue kind of show, it's what you expect in a saloon. You have a saloon, the guy playing the piano in the saloon.
Yeah, that's like the minimum.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just a super, super drag. Everybody, there's a thread over here with 200 comments on it. Everybody's really bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, why don't you do the top of the hour and then we'll swing back after Star Wars and
You
talk theme
got
parks
it.
more.
You are listening to Docking Bay 94 over on sci-fi.radio. It is sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. It's a URL that you can type into your address bar. We have all sorts of news stories and stuff over there. When you pop in, we cover video games and movies and books and all sorts of things of nerd interest. We've got some news stories and stuff there, and trailers, like Imaginary Friend gets its final trailer, and we've got one for Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths and Despicable Me 4. All sorts of neat stuff for you to check in on. So sci-fi.radio is the URL to check it out. If you're not listening to us over there on Alexa or anything like that, you could be watching us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. We're grateful for you doing that. Anywhere you find us, let us know that you were there, you saw us in any way that you can. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is just Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And if you see stuff on our Facebook page, the DB94 Facebook page, that is Kit Boba-Kit Sovine, who also manages our show document and make sure that all the news that we throw at each other all week long gets organized in some handy fashion. So thanks, Kit.
So Jeff, you want to talk Star Wars birthdays?
Yeah. First, I'm going to bring up that someone, I don't know who the person is. Their name looks like Stellar Chef, and they're saying that they were there and, would have gone if they'd known. I don't know who this is, but that's on YouTube.
That's okay. I mean, a lot of us, we all would have gone. If they had said, hey, this is the last day, I bet a lot of us would have gone and jumped in. Or the last time that I was there, I didn't go in the Golden Horseshoe. I would have made an extra effort if I knew.
Yeah.
And that's kind of dirty pool to not warn us that's happening. I wonder if there is a way to you can give thanks to cast members through the app, and I wonder if there's a way to basically log into the app and just keep sending them to City Hall and to the app people and go, we would especially like to thank Eric or Matt or whoever who was playing at the Golden Horseshoe. They're really great. We're sorry they're gone. You suck.
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll go to the Star Wars news. May 5th, 1921 is when Cindy Walker was born. He was the voice of Deej Warwick in Caravan of Courage. So one of the Ewoks, I guess. Deej.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Battle of Endor. So he played the voice of both.
Excellent. We will be celebrating, by the way, the Ewok movies for their 40th anniversary at the Upland Public Library when we do that on May 25th.
Oh, neat!
And
Cool.
we're gonna have Eric Walker there, who was the kid in it, not the girl, but the boy. I can't remember the boy's name. And of course, we've got Kevin Thompson, who was an Ewok in those. So we're gonna corner them and make them talk about their experiences on set.
Neat. And the other news is actually related to this totally.
Mm-hmm.
May 4th, 1944. That's when Paul Gleason was born. He actually played the dad of the humans in the I think it was the second one. The Battle for Endor, he played the dad. So the different guy played the dad the first one, so he played him in the second one.
And of course, when we talk about these people on the birthdays for Star Wars news, these are people who passed away. I would absolutely love to have him come out. It would have been amazing to have him as a guest because not only was he in a bunch of Roger Corman movies, but he was also the jerky vice principal in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I would have loved to talk to him. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. I think he was like one of the captain, so to speak, in charge in Die Hard.
In Die Hard. Right? Oh, wow. They're going to need some new FBI guys.
Exactly. So, yeah. Um, May 4th, 1979. That's when May the Fourth be with you got its first major boost of exposure in the London Evening News half page to give congratulations to Margaret Thatcher on becoming prime minister.
Yeah, and it's funny. So everybody's like, oh, the internet made this up. No,
Hmm.
it showed up in the British press as a support message from her
Yeah,
party members. And I love the people who love Star Wars but not Margaret Thatcher. They're like, man, they get really bent out of
yeah.
shape. It's really
Wah, wah.
quite
Hi, Chris.
funny.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have where am I at here? Oh, the third piece, or second piece of news. Sorry. May 5th, the year 2000. That's when MGM Studios at Walt Disney World held its first Star Wars weekend.
Don't
Which
get Sean
I
started.
Sigh.
yeah, never got to go either. So that's
No,
okay.
wanted to, totally wanted to, but we
Yeah.
never.
We went the year after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they stopped doing them.
the year we said we were gonna go was the year
Yeah.
they canceled it. La
Oh
sigh.
man.
Just-
Last of the news. May 3rd, 2002. That's when Celebration 2 kicked off in Indianapolis. Star Wars Celebration 2.
We didn't go to 2, but we went to
Its first Star Wars
3.
weekend.
So
Yeah, there we go.
We have from the Star. This is a cross between. Actually, hold this piece of news. I'm gonna come back to it. Disney Plus The Acolyte is coming out on 6/4 with 2 episodes. Any comments
Okay.
from you guys about The Acolyte?
May 4th. Or June 4th. Oh man,
I'm-
it looks good.
June 4th. Did I say May 4th?
No,
Okay.
no, you didn't.
it looks pretty good. We'll
Yeah.
have to see how it really shakes out. I came to a realization yesterday as Colleen and I watched the first of the Tales of the Empire shorts
Uh-huh.
that they did, the CG shorts, that Star Wars is really weird to me now with all the magic involved in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if the Acolyte is focusing more on magic and less of the Force and that kind of stuff, it remains to be seen how well I get into it. Because we're seeing a lot of like Night Sisters magic. We're seeing people use like incantations to create, defenses and attacks and things. They're saying spells and that kind of stuff. And that's just not very Star Wars to me. I'm sure it's my own hang up. I'll probably have to get past it. And it's a Dave Filoni thing where he keeps like adding all this mystical, magical Night Sister stuff into it. The more they do that, the more it feels like Dungeons and Dragons and less like Star Wars to me. And, it's not a showstopper. It's not going to keep me from checking this stuff out. I just feel like even the Force seemed to have a bit of, be kind of like technologically based because you would use it against technology and things like that. But now we're watching people do spells and shoot fireballs and, glowing magical weapons that aren't lightsabers. It's more like Sting in the Lord of the Rings and stuff. And so I'm like, well, and it's
Sean's like, this is not what I signed up for.
sort of
Okay.
pulling me
Well,
out
I
of
look at
out
the
of the
quote unquote
universe.
magic they're using as a version of the Force, but I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. I watched the entirety of the series for that
Tales of the Empire.
Yeah, they're not very long. The episodes are like what, 15 minutes maybe.
17 minutes.
Yeah, we
real
just
short.
watched one to get a tape.
Yeah, so
Taste of it.
yeah, definitely watch the entirety because I'm going to spoil one thing, but it isn't. Is that one set of the episodes is a story, and the other set of the episodes is a different story.
Right. Well, that's
So,
what they
yeah.
did with the first one, where
Yeah.
the first one followed Dooku and it followed Ahsoka, and
Yeah,
they're
so
doing
watch
the same thing
yeah.
here, where they're doing two different characters, and
Yeah.
I get it. I understand what they're doing, but I had a
Yeah.
problem with the last one too, where they just made Ahsoka way too powerful. I thought.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
So
she's 2, but she's already a master of the Force. What they're doing, but
yeah,
so
yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it. I thought that it's to me, I liked it. To me, it was in the realm of being a filler, you know,
Yeah.
or like
I mean,
which
yeah.
is some news later, but it's like Rogue One in a way. It's like, well, we knew this thing happened, and we're going to see how it happened. And that's what these are. The Acolyte looks really good. I don't know about there being much like mystical in it. It's someone who becomes a Sith. There's a bunch of Jedi, so I think that one's sticking more towards Star Wars. It
Well,
looks
we
good,
will
at least from the
see
trailer.
in the beginning of June.
right.
Yeah.
Although there is one weird moment in the trailer where somebody's eyes, I don't know if they were like this before or somebody did something to them and their eyes turned entirely black in the trailer. So I don't know what that was about.
Creepy.
Disney Plus coming in on September 13th, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. And I mean,
That.
Lego Star Wars, you don't even have to continue from there. I'm on board.
Yeah, we're all on board. I'll run the video back here, and actually, I should be able to run the whole thing with the audio. I think sometimes they ding us if we run audio. I don't know how to get them to allow us to do to do audio. Here's the trailer, and you may recognize some voices here.
Space. Time. It's falling apart. The building blocks of the galaxy are getting mixed up. This doesn't make any sense. Worlds will change. People will change in ways we cannot possibly imagine. I don't love that. This is wild. X-Wing TIE fighters? Ewok bounty hunters?
Misa going to hurt you, sir.
Darth Jar Jar?
Push it past.
So yeah, that's
Misa gonna hurt you, sir.
And it was, I believe that actually was Ahmed.
it was, and I believe also that Mark Hamill is reprising Luke in it.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I
I think I'm going to get that on a convention ribbon. Misa gonna hurt you, sir.
Misa gonna hurt you. Sir. And you need the Jar Jar with the Sith eyes, which is really very funny.
The Phantom Menace made $8.1 million this past weekend. And I didn't get to see it.
Well, I mean, we could have seen it.
Well, it's not this past weekend anymore. So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll just watch it on Disney.
A lot of people were really very excited about it. I know a lot of people who started their May the 4th weekend by going up to Lucasfilm and seeing it at Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have done it if we didn't have, stuff to do all day Saturday. Because just about everybody I know who did that basically bailed out of May the 4th stuff. So,
oh well.
Yeah, but I think that
I think it would have been fun-ish to see at the El Capitan.
Right.
However, the seats at the El Capitan are so uncomfortable.
And we're short people, and they're uncomfortable. I feel bad for anybody really tall
Oh, that's what that is.
who's got to shoehorn themselves in there.
Yeah.
Just to backtrack a little bit, Mark Hamill is in fact back as Luke Skywalker in Lego form for that Lego thing. Bobby Moynihan is in it. He's been doing a lot of Star Wars voice projects lately. And Ahmed Best is in fact Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah. Oh, now I know who Stellar Chef is, and they're also commenting on Facebook. I know who this is.
Oh, who is it? Oh, it's
That's Tracy.
It's Tracy. Right. Got
Just
it.
two different ones.
That's really funny.
Clever.
I thought it was Tracy, but she was also commenting over on Facebook,
YouTube,
so I was
both of them.
confused.
Right. So like, yeah,
It's
that's
like
okay.
both.
I'll, whatever. It bumps
Like, wait a minute.
it bumps our viewer count. I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't think about that.
Woohoo!
Oh my gosh. That's
Double
funny.
the viewership.
Okay, so the last Star Wars thing is the Disney Parks blog released something on May the 2nd that said, shop these new Star Wars Day must-haves. So these were not things that were for sale for Star Wars nights. These are things that were that you could get to celebrate May the 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
T-shirts and things like that, action figures. And I've been seeing a lot of these kind of crop up, which is kind of fun. Target
New scuffed up boxes.
had some stuff, but yeah, I know Lego was releasing some pretty cool sets this weekend, one of which was a Droideka, which was cool.
So is that a Droideka Lego? Is that the one we saw?
Yeah, that's the one that we just saw right
Okay.
there. It's the Droideka Lego.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how well it collapses. I mean, that's the key thing. Is it like it's
man.
gonna collapse?
Mace Windu with 2-arm action.
Right, but can you remove an arm?
I know that would be the thing.
Various shirts and stuff. There's a whole bunch of glasses collections that are out right now that are Star Wars. The one that I
Yeah.
keep seeing are the
Jeez.
2-frame glasses, which is like it's a pair of glasses that then has magnetic sunglasses that pop on over top of it and stuff like that. These are not
Sure, they're only like
bad,
$400.
These glasses. I guess they're Mace Windu because they're purple. I don't know.
Sure.
Honestly, they look a lot like the sort of Indiana Jones style of glasses. It's a little fancier, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are the ones that I was talking about. These 2-frame glasses that like.
Oh, there you go.
You can put these little covers
those
on
look-
them.
Those have got to be like, I don't know, $40 or something.
I
You would.
I
Hope
think
they were
140
$40
probably.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
probably
140.
like 140.
Oh yeah, 2-frame. Okay, I never know.
Pear eyewear is where they come from.
The pairing thing that you put on top
Yeah.
are $30 each.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
And how much are the base frames?
I
Probably
can't
good.
find the base
We
frames.
don't know. Doesn't say.
Yeah.
Darth Maul phone case.
Darth
Yep.
Maul watch. There's a little Walker keychain up there.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
The blue milk is still in stores, by the way. I saw it in Target today. I didn't buy any
Oh, thank God.
because
We
I
didn't
think
make
there's
it all
some
the
in
way
the
through
fridge.
the. We didn't make it all the way through the container.
it got pushed to the back, and I forgot to drink it. I was going to finish
Oh
it,
dear.
but it ended May 5th, which ours expired May 5th.
Yeah.
I had
There
thought
might
about
be
getting
there
another
might be
one. It's
some
just
in our
that
fridge
I
still. Who
was
knows?
I was not coming straight home, so I didn't want to
Why?
leave it in the car.
I didn't really like it.
Who gave
Me neither.
Leia a lobotomy?
Ah,
That's real creepy.
chilled Leia brains.
It's a geeky tiki mug.
Yeah, okay. They should have found a better way to do it that made it look like she didn't get the top of her head cut off. And it's like ringed in red. It really looks like somebody cut her head open with a lightsaber. It's a little grim. As a statue, it would be lovely.
They should pair it with the Star Wars Dark Side hot sauce that
Right.
is advertised below.
Oh, see, now they come up with a cool, like, Star Warsy textured mug. I have my little Starbucks one here that's a Disney one that because I like this texture. It feels good on my itchy hands, and I just want to know if that is equally as good. Can't tell. Where is that Joffrey's coffee?
No, Joffrey's coffee is actually coffee.
Right.
This is for
Yeah.
sale at StarWars.com. The cup.
Oh, I
It's for
see.
sale.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Yeah. The other thing is
Oh, they
not
are
pictured.
they are legitimately Starbucks tumblers. Well, look at that. Who knew? Is that
Get
the
some
hot
nice
sauce
Joffrey's
truff?
coffee.
Yeah, it is.
So when we were kids,
This
by the way-
mug is $50.
wow.
It's kind of costly.
When we were kids, we used to be able to go to the store and buy what they called a soakie, and the soakie was a bottle like this with a character head on top of it, and it had body wash or shampoo in it.
Oh my goodness.
This is hot sauce. Do not confuse
So-
the two.
So they should have one for Ahsoka, and they could call it an Ahsoka.
An
Soakie.
Ahsoka soakie?
The tumblers, the $50 tumblers from Starbucks, do
Yes.
not have the texture that you think they do.
Rude.
They have little dividers, but they're like tile more than they're like things that would feel fun on your hand.
The I'm trying to ugh. You know, nothing ever works the way I want it to work.
Some things do.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a picture of the Soakies over here. And
Well, I figure everybody kind of knew what you were talking
yeah,
about.
pretty much. Here we go. Just real quick. It's they were these things. And you know, it would totally suck to mix these up with the
Oh
hot
dear.
sauce.
Yeah.
That would be bad. Let's see what else is in here. Cups, shirts.
Pajamas, hats.
I don't
Toys,
know.
a dress.
I haven't looked into the blue Ewok yet. Nubs from the
Yeah.
Jedi show.
I watched an episode.
Did you?
Yeah, it was cute for really little kids.
So it was like the Rocketeer show.
Yeah.
Probably.
I saw people brave enough to wear this hat at Star Wars Nite, the Jar Jar Binks hat.
Awesome.
It was very weird, and although I think we saw a Jar Jar lounge fly that seemed better because
I would
it
totally
was
wear that hat.
it was a you would wear that.
Yes, that would be the best thing ever.
Okay. And the R2 and C3PO
Jar Jar
on
hat.
the left, these were at the parks, and the R2 is very specifically modeled after the old Kenner R2. He's got the same head designs. And
Yeah,
stuff
very.
in there.
Those look a lot like that, doesn't
And
it?
he's wrapped in a paper sticker like the other one was. There's more detail on the leg than they had, but I thought it was very interesting. He lights up and makes noise and that kind of stuff, along with
Oh, neat.
3PO. 3PO talks too. Let's see, Sith dress.
I like how that's taken inside Rise of the Resistance.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, come on, if you had that as a backdrop, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Geez.
Build-A-Bear is back with Darth Vader. Do you have to?
Looks like Silence of the Lambs bear.
Do you have to singe that bear before you put it in the Darth Vader armor?
Yes.
Like
I
the
think
bear
so,
gets
totally.
really, really ratty and toasty and awful, and then you finally put him in the
Ooh.
Darth Vader costume.
Yeah. These little toys that are next to that, the little
The Hallmark ones.
Hallmark ones,
Oh no,
yeah.
these are the wishables.
Yeah.
These are the ones that we were trying to find the
Admiral Akbar.
it was Admiral Beck, I think.
Oh,
actually.
Beck, you're right. It was
Yeah.
Beck.
We were trying to find him.
So
they're
you can buy the
blind
BB-8 outside of the box. You can buy just a BB-8,
Mm-hmm.
but the other four are all blind boxed. So there was no way I was going to buy one and not get the one that I wanted.
We just wanted
So-
Beck, and they gotta, be dumb about it.
I don't want to get a stupid stormtrooper.
A lot of
Kylo, I guess that is.
A lot of places lose potential business from us because we will just avoid an entire series of blind bagged, blind boxed things because we do not want the ones that we're not interested
So I
in.
should be grateful to them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Keeps me from buying junk I don't need.
Yeah.
And then they're advertising the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. game.
Right, which is a phone app game
And
that's been going on for a
and
while.
equipment that you can sit in your chair.
There's a gaming chair for Star Wars. Although, honestly, there some of the chairs that I look at auction that are like white frames and stuff. They're way more Star Wars than that is. That's like way too timid. I've seen much cooler chairs that aren't even Star Wars related that look much more Star Wars.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Look at what the next item is. It's Stephen Barnes' book.
Hey, it is. How cool.
How awesome is that?
So, a friend of ours, author Stephen Barnes, has been talking about this book for quite a while as he wrote it. If you follow him on Facebook, he drops little tidbits of things that they let him sneak into the book that he's excited about. He's been really excited to do it. He's excited. He's a black author. He's excited to bring a black perspective to the Mace Windu story. And he cannot believe he gets to work in the Star Wars universe. He's very excited by this. And apparently his book is on the way out. When does it release? Does it say? It doesn't say. I'm going to have to click on it and see. We may get an Amazon ad here. $30. October 15th, 2024. So it's coming. Because I know that he's still in the editing phase. But he got a pretty great cover. Good for him. That's super cool. And now I'm trapped on this page.
Uh-oh.
There we go. All right, we're back. The National Geographic Yoda thing is weird. Weird but true. Star Wars fans. More comic books. 2 action-packed stories.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything for Free Comic Book Day, I gotta say.
I didn't make it out to a comic store, so, you know.
They released a new Spira coin. The first issue was sort of a goldish brass. The second one has been like a pewter silver. And this one is now sort of a coppery color. Which is kind of cool. So if you've been keeping up with the Spirit coins, you can get a third color. These are the gift cards, of course, that you buy. You buy them for $106, and they put $100 on the gift card, and you pay $6 for the spiffy coin.
And you know that I was looking something up just now. The Jar Jar Binks hat.
Yes.
Sold out.
What?
Everybody
Well,
loves
I'll tell you,
Jar Jar Binks hat.
if you legitimately
look at that.
If you legitimately want one of these, I will buy one the next time I see one. Because I'm not sure I have.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I'm not sure that I have the chutzpah to pull it off. It doesn't. I don't think it's me. I spent all day walking around dressed in Luke Skywalker costume. I can totally do that. I'm not sure about the Jar Jar hat.
And you also have so many hats that you do not need
I
more
do.
hats.
Yeah, I don't completely.
Stop with the hats.
I'll tell you one thing I did want at Star Wars Nite. They had a model, like a toy model, like it looked 1-to-1 scale, which was pretty nice, of the T-16 Skyhopper that Luke Skywalker had. And they did the base right. They made the base out of the 3 brass rods with the balls on the end. They made it look just like Episode 4. And, of course, the Obi-Wan series. We see it in the Obi-Wan series as he gives it to Luke, young Luke, which was cool. That was actually really nicely done. I was really impressed. I think that was about $40. And there was something. Oh, they had, over at the Resistance base, they were selling a new helmet for the Resistance pilot that's in the green markings that has the Last Starfighter Easter egg on it. And that was very tempting too. because I was thinking of repainting one of the ones that we have with that. I may still just repaint one of the ones that I have that way because it might be better. I can control how it looks.
Gotcha.
But it didn't look bad. I wonder if I can find a picture of it. And then they had a new X-Wing helmet that I didn't see but was in a case.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Are we okay to move along?
We are. I'm just looking for that one helmet if I can find it.
Well, it's still Disney, so I'll move on to other things Disney, and that is the Disney blogs made some, or Disney Park blogs made some announcements about this year's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah.
They said there are 5 new surprises, which are the new costumes for Mickey and Minnie, which are green and purple with spider webs. And more villains. They're going to have Maleficent and Jafar and Cruella de Vil. Those are the 3 they're pictured. I don't know if they're going to have more than that.
Well, let me load those pictures up for you and people can watch them. And then we got to talk about the really weird Star Wars costume that we saw at Star Wars Nite. There you go. Mickey and Minnie. Minnie's a witch.
So's Mickey.
How rude.
So they have the villains, and then
wow, look at that. Holy crud.
I guess that's a picture Sean is showing everybody for your radio audience that is not seeing the pictures. Sean is showing a picture of the castle at Disneyland with projections of villains and fireworks.
Actually,
at the back.
It's not even Disneyland. It is either Tokyo or Florida. But it looks kind of like Tokyo to me. Does it say? It does not say, because it has these outrigger towers that we don't have at Disneyland, but they do have in Florida. I remember, or in Tokyo. But this is probably Walt Disney World. I don't.
This is actually. Oh, actually,
Magic Kingdom, right?
This is all Florida. This is not California, because ours is Oogie Boogie Bash.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is all that we're looking at is in Florida.
Rude.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
So I thought we've had all these.
I am really
before.
creeped out by Cruella de Vil. She looks really, really scary.
She looks like a scary bored housewife.
Yeah. She's kind of raisiny.
There is a dance party.
Okay.
Bruno Madrigal will be in the parade on a float.
Yeah, we don't talk about
Oh,
that.
wow.
And there will be an earlier start time for Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade. They're going to start it at 8:15 so the Tiny Tots can play.
The Tiny Tots.
Gotcha.
And you can
The Sanderson sisters are back.
add in a Mad Tea Party to watch the Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular Fireworks Show. And that allows you to have dessert while you watch the show, I believe. And
That's
then
cool.
they will also be handing out M&M's, Skittles, Snickers, and more at their trick-or-treating locations.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, it looks pretty interesting. But, yeah, that explains why the castle looked weird.
And then the big news from California, I'm going to change this. It says California, it's Florida, is that Anaheim made the final approval for Disneyland Forward. So the
vote happened Tuesday night.
Expansion is a go, and we may be seeing an entirely new park. We may be seeing expansions to Disneyland and California Adventure. We may be seeing new parking lots.
Yeah. It's rather vague.
We may be seeing new hotels. Yeah.
Yeah.
But change is a coming.
Yeah.
So This says that with Disneyland Forward and an updated approach, these exciting new lands and attractions coming to Tokyo Disney Sea could be the perfect inspiration for the future of Disneyland Park. So they talk about Tangled, Peter Pan, Frozen, Zootopia.
Yeah, that's
Tron.
what they've been saying though.
And
Yeah.
Toy Story Land.
Yeah, I would rather they, maybe put some money into Tomorrowland.
And
That'd be nice.
the big hang up seemed to be getting rid of Magic Way so that they could merge the parking structure to the other parking lot.
And that tiny little street that I don't even know what the name of it is, that is off of is north from Disney Way.
Right. It goes right
into a
the
parking structure.
Right. It's like a,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot for them to decide to do. This is Disney's consolation prize, I'm sure, for not getting to do all the hotel stuff they wanted to do at Downtown Disney.
Yeah, jeez.
Right now, where they're putting Din Tai Fung and all that kind of stuff, they wanted to throw a hotel in there. Also, get rid of the ASBN building and put make that part of the hotel. They were basically just going to put a hotel that blocked Disney, the Disneyland hotel.
But basically, they have permission to do new hotels now too.
They do on those other new sites.
Yeah.
And they will.
Yeah.
They're going to put lots more things. This isn't. They already have so many hotels, but apparently it's not enough. And I don't know. It's
The thing that was disappointing about the hotels that they were planning to build, and is probably going to be with the new hotels, is it seemed to be that those were all going to be very expensive hotels.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, jeez.
that it wouldn't feel so costly to go to the Grand Californian.
right.
Jeez.
And that's the thing is like the price just keeps going up and up and up. And everybody that I know who comes out here is like, where is the cheapest place we can stay? And none of it is on Disney property. There's nothing affordable on Disney property. So.
And just to tell you those numbers in case you don't know, like $500 a night is probably the least expensive hotel on Disney property in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to. That's off the top of my head, from having looked a bunch of times, wanting to go stay myself.
Right.
So, Sean,
Real
can you take
expensive.
the RIP section?
Yeah, before I do that, just to backtrack a little bit to something we were talking about earlier, that green Resistance helmet with the Last Starfighter Easter egg on it is up on DisneyStore.com. And so if you look at the circle, the yellow and red circle, there, and then look at the Last Starfighter logo, they have the same kind of corner cuts in it, and with a sword that goes through it for the Last Starfighter. This is the tip of an X-wing gun, but it's mimicking the whole Last Starfighter logo. It was a really neat Easter egg. It has been on display since the opening of Galaxy's Edge at the Resistance Sutlery, and I just think it's really cool that they finally released this, because it's a really neat design.
Cool.
And it was one that I was going to make because it needed to be made. So
according to the Disneyland Resort Hotel reservations page, the least expensive property you can stay on currently that is a Disney property is the Pixar Place Hotel, which is $512.50 on average. The Disneyland Hotel is $538.15, and Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa is $794.80 for one night.
I got that in the cushions of our couch. Forget it. Let's just
Jeez Louise.
let's just do that. That's perfectly fine. All right.
Yeah. Good gravy.
Let me get over to the document here. We lost a couple of people this week. We lost Susan Buckner, who was in the movie Grease. She was Patty Simcox, was the cheerleader in Grease, among other stuff. and we lost Bernard Hill, who was captain of the Titanic in Jim Cameron's movie. And, of course, if you're a fan of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, he was Theoden. He passed away at the age of 79. And just to double check, I feel like there's like a third person who passed away. So I'm going to check our sci-fi.radio site just to make sure. Oh, there's one person that Ian Gelder of Game of Thrones and Torchwood, he passed away at the age of 74. And then, unless you watched television in the 1970s, you probably wouldn't have had too much of a reason to have seen Jeannie Epper. She passed away at the age of 83, but she managed to survive everything they could throw at Wonder Woman in the 1970s. She was Linda Carter's stunt double for Wonder Woman. And Steven Spielberg used to work with their family. They were called the Flying Walendas of film. And anyway, she did all sorts of great stuff. And we have a pretty great picture that Linda Carter posted of her stunt woman holding her up. She's carrying her in the thing. It says, Jeannie was a vanguard who paved the way for all other stunt women who came after. Just as Diana was Wonder Woman, Jeannie Epper was also Wonder Woman. So sad to hear her passing too.
Jeff, you want to take the speed round?
Sure. So, a movie that is going to be moving right along back to the theaters for 2 nights. Sunday, June 2nd, and at 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and Monday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. It's at certain theaters. They're going to be bringing the Muppet movie back into theaters for the 45th anniversary.
Cool.
I feel like we should go. But I'm very bummed that the car is not, wouldn't be ready, anywhere near ready, even drivable. But yeah, and today's, well, we're speaking of Muppets, and it's my birthday, and of course Colleen's birthday is Saturday.
Yeah.
Apparently I share a birthday with Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of cool. I mean, Billy Joel's a pretty big deal, but Kermit the Frog, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Did you? And the interesting thing that I'm just bringing this up because this is in the article, and I just noticed this right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
One of the live-action cast shares a name with the car, and that's Bruce Kirby.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
well, that's very cool. These Fathom event screenings are supposed to have an introduction by Leonard Moulton.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Leonard Moulton.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know he was
in a long time. That's pretty funny.
So I plan to talk about the Met Gala for as much time as we have left.
Okay.
So anything that either of you guys want to talk about that is like a must speak of?
Let me look really quick. I'll mention that Michelle Yeoh is going to be in Blade Runner 2099. That could be kind of interesting. 2049, I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because of Jared Leto. But, I assume he won't be involved in this one, so I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you have any last-minute things?
Yeah, there's a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out, which is The Hunt for Gollum, directed by and starring Andy Serkis, who's going to play Gollum again. And it has the people that actually worked on the Lord of the Rings films and Hobbit movies, which Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens are all coming back to work on this. Which, like kind of like I mentioned earlier, this is sort of like a Rogue One sort of situation, but it would be interesting to see. There is a fan film you can watch on YouTube that covers this already, but this would be obviously better.
Right. Okay, so should we leap into the Met Gala for the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, and so you created a doc over here for
Called Colleen's
us.
Picks. Yep.
All right, let me see if I can fire that puppy up. And
So what I did was I went through and tried to find not the best and worst costumes. I mean, they are costumes, really. I just tried to find the ones that really stood out. So it's a mix of good and bad, and, you know, everybody has their own opinion on what's good and bad.
Yeah.
So, and some of the things that were on some of the published worst lists, I thought were best, and vice versa.
is there a way for me to display the document in a preview mode?
I don't know what that means.
I have all sorts of icons on how to edit the document, and I would like to not have those cutting off the heads of all the people in their lovely dresses.
Yeah, go to view, mode, viewing. It still has the title at the top, but
Okay, well, it's mildly better, I
Yeah.
suppose. Okay.
sorry, I didn't have any other way to do that. So here we've got Elle Fanning, and she's wearing an iridescent Balmain column with sculpted birds at the shoulders and Cartier jewelry. And she looks like a Lalique statue,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
The idea is that the birds are supposed to be dressing her. They're made out of resin and supported by her dress, which is kind of crazy. If you've ever held a resin prop in your hand, you know they're not light. It's kind of really impressive. And I think it's interesting that the dress is just transparent enough that it like makes her slightly look naked.
But not grossly naked like some
It's
of
just
them.
it's like Venus. It's like she's nude
Yeah.
under there. You know,
Yeah.
kind of.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Gregor.
And are you saying hi or goodbye?
Hi, Matt. Hi,
Oh,
Hi,
I thought
Gregor.
you said goodbye. I'm like, wow, they really don't like fashion.
And thanks for the
It gets
birthday
choppy.
wishes.
The theme of the year is the Garden of Time,
Right.
so that we know that. Okay, so now we have Zendaya, who wore 4 different outfits, and this is the first of her 4 outfits.
And let me jump in here real quick. When you hear someone that says that they wore 4 different outfits, to get into this, I think it was $75,000 a ticket, between $50,000 and $75,000 a ticket, and it is largely paid by the dress designers to do it so that they can get their stuff seen at the gala. And so you had 4 designers throwing ridiculous quantities of money at the Met Ball and at Zendaya to wear their stuff.
And Zendaya was one of the hosts, or she was involved with the gala, not just attending.
Right.
So this first dress is what she first wore when she arrived, and then she changed and did the red carpet again. This is a Maison Margiela gown by John Galliano. And it is reminiscent of one he created for his time at Dior. And her makeup is supposed to be like a silent film actor.
Kind of, I guess. It looks a little zombie-ish to me, but
I like her dress a lot. I like her makeup not at all. Then she came back in a black dress with a huge train. I didn't find the picture of her on the stairs with this train.
Where it was
looked
all the way
amazing
down the
on the
steps.
train.
Yeah, that was crazy.
on the stairs.
this looks like she's about to fall in a hole.
It does, doesn't it?
That's a
and
new
then
show.
I don't particularly like the next dress. She wore this one to make a presentation. So she got up on stage with some of the other people attending, and in her job that she
Right.
had, and
apparently like ditched all her makeup.
the makeup was yeah, it was like the statement makeup. Her hair was very plain in this too. So, and then the last picture was what she wore to the parties afterwards.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not bad. At least
Yeah.
she looks comfortable.
Right. I was wondering, which one of these did she sit in to eat?
Right.
Because it's a gala, so there's food. So I believe
I
it was
feel
probably
this
the pink one, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the black one is the one that she wore to parties.
Oh,
Or
okay.
gray, sorry. The black one was the second red carpet dress. So she did red carpet, and then this one was what she wore. The pink was what she wore for the entire event, and then parties afterwards was the other one. This is Demi Moore with a wild. The person who wrote this up said it was a show-stopping oversized floral print gown made out of wallpaper by Harris Reed with a detachable back panel and padded hips, plus a massive Cartier necklace.
It's very Queen of Hearts.
That's very
And,
interesting.
yeah. It looks like she's dodging arrows.
The next dress is Gigi Hadid, and her dress is a Tom Brown gown with elaborate black trimmed ruffle train and yellow rose motif, plus chopard jewelry. And this dress was on both best and worst lists.
Really?
I don't know why it would be on worst lists, other than the fact that that is not a train that is pulled in front of the gown.
Right.
That is actually like in front of the gown. How does she walk?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Trip
know.
over it, and
Right.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's okay. I mean, it's as
like
far as
tiny,
Matt
tiny
stuff goes,
steps.
it's kind of tame.
Yeah, it is.
And she doesn't look bad. I think she looks great.
Yeah. Michelle Yeoh is wearing sculpted aluminum Balenciaga plus Cindy Chow jewelry, and it is she looks like Jiffy Pop.
She is protected by all conspiracy theories.
She is. I like that. The biggest hat.
I think Weird Al has a song about her.
Right.
But yeah, I get the Jiffy Pop thing. That's really weird.
The next is Alia Bhatt in custom Sabyasachi sari
weird.
with vintage feeling print and jewelry by Sabyasachi.
Wow.
I just thought this was gorgeous.
She went full Mata Hari. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It
And it's beautiful from behind too. I don't have a picture here
of
of that.
So like 1920s glamour movie star.
Right.
It's-
And she's also on point for the theme of the event.
Yeah.
She's like a garden from another time.
Mm-hmm.
Just lovely.
Yeah, that's pretty great actually.
Yeah.
Lisa says that the one dress that was on both best and worst might be because after the skirt is removed,
Oh,
it
that's
has
true.
like an awkwardly placed rose or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the Alia Bhatt, sorry, and Mindy Kaling's dress are my two favorites of the evening. I think it is absolutely delightful that Mindy Kaling has my favorite dress of the evening, because of the role she played in Ocean's 8, where they did a heist at the Met Gala.
At the Met. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't just at the Met, it was at the Met Gala.
Right.
Specifically. So I put the front and the back of this dress because this dress is just amazing.
I'll take a look at the back of it. Oh,
And this is by Gaurav Gupta. But isn't that just amazing?
Wow. It's like she's melting.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty
Swooshy wind caught it in stop motion.
Yeah. And then we have Bad... What? Are you laughing at Bad Bunny?
I am laughing at Bad Bunny.
We have Bad Bunny in a thoughtfully designed Maison Margiela by John Galliano suit with Christian Louboutin hoof shoes.
Can I just say that it looks like the tailor didn't get this done?
It does.
With I know that it's thread because I can see the thread pulls, but it looks like chalk marks and stuff, like they were supposed to come in and finish it later.
It does. And some of the things to point out on it are he's holding flowers. He's got like a bouquet in his hand.
Right. Like dead flowers.
His on the outside seam of men's pants that are uniforms, sometimes they have this line of color.
Right.
It's on the inside.
Yeah, which is weird.
Super weird. And then his hoof shoes, if you look at them, they look like goat feet.
Right.
So just like a
and
overall wild
Louboutin
look.
does weird shoes all the time.
And look at his
Yeah.
glasses.
I saw his glasses. They looked
Wacky.
yeah. It's like, honestly, but this completely sums up what Renaissance Fair is to me today. This is like the way Ren Fair is, and how it like used to be historical and now it's not. And I'm like, meh.
Well, I mean, this is the perfect place for this particular.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's in the wrong place for this. This is
Yeah.
terrific. I would much rather see this here than see it at Ren Fair.
Taylor Russell in a custom low plus Fred Leighton jewelry and Jimmy Choo heels. So she's a tree. She's
a
like
tree.
got the wood
She's
and
made out
the
of wood.
floral bits, and she looks like she should be in a Doctor Who episode.
I think, and I'm guessing here because I don't know for sure, I think that they did like a vacuform torso and back piece to very specifically fit her, and then they wrapped it with textured vinyl
Oh,
to get
interesting,
that
yeah.
tree.
that must be really warm.
It's extremely clever. I'd like to see the back of it to see how it closes. They might just sort of have snapped it onto her because there isn't a seam at the side that I can see. It may just wrap around and like leave her back exposed. And the collar may do the same. The collar may have a gap in the back. They could just spread it enough to pop it on her. But this, actually, what's really funny is when I used to work for Barbie at Mattel, we made a whole bunch of clothes just like this that would snap onto Barbie. And they were meant for kids who had trouble
I found a picture of
doing
the back.
clothes and stuff.
Oh,
Did you find the back?
I found the back side. Oh, I guess it's just the side. You can kind of see the back, and now there are ads, and I can't see it at all.
Oh, sorry.
And it looks like it could be that, but it's really difficult to tell, and I don't see any overlap in it. Interestingly.
Well, and actually, I thought there would be no overlap at all. I thought that perhaps it would be open in the back.
It is not open in the back. That collar goes all the way around. All the way around her neck. So there has to be some... It actually looks like it's sticks out about an inch, but that might just be the angle of the picture.
Yeah, I'm looking at more pictures of it over here, but yeah, nothing's really showing the back. And I'll have to do some more research on it. It's a fascinating idea, and it's pretty well executed. I'm very curious as to how they managed to do it.
Okay, so the next...
This one freaked me out. This dress.
Yeah. There's apparently a whole story behind that I didn't read, so I don't know what the story is, but this is Tyla in a Sands of Time theme look. Balmain actually dressed her in sand molded to her figure with an hourglass accessory. Designer Olivier Rousting literally cut the gown into a mini inside the gala.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is actually like the sand is actually embedded into the dress, which is pretty
God.
fascinating. It's got
That's
this
got to be heavy.
crazy tail. They
Now
had to
she's not the
carry
person. Is she the
her
person they had to
upstairs.
pick her up and put her up the stairs?
Yes, she could not move in the
Yeah.
dress. They had to carry her up the stairs, and
And they would lift her up one step
now,
at a time.
She
It
is
was kinda
also
funny.
a singer, I think, and I believe she has been out of her concerts because she was injured.
Oh,
I think she's got some sort of injury too. That may also have prevented her from walking upstairs. But
right.
whatever it was, it took a group of 4 to carry her up the stairs. And what they would do is they would take her up a few stairs, set her down, take a few pictures, pick her up, take her up more stairs, set her down, take more pictures. She had this whole, quite literally a step and repeat. They did the thing for her. It's a stunning dress, but the texture of it just wigs me out. I like what they did, and her little fake purse, the hourglass purse, is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So her clutch, and then it looks like they just smeared and glued sand to her, like on her arm and her shoulder and stuff like that. It's pretty clever, and is as long as she wasn't shedding across the entire red carpet.
I mean, she could have been.
I might have been.
Yeah.
Before we finish this up, let me jump in and remind you guys that we are
we're at 9 o'clock,
Docking
kids.
Bay 94, and you are listening to us on sci-fi.radio. You could be watching us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, any of those things. And thanks for being here as we go a little overtime as Colleen talks about the Met costumes.
And Jeff, if you feel like peeling out because you don't have interest in the costumes, it's totally okay. And I imagine, our radio listeners will be peeling out because our show ended.
Well, they'll on the replay they can listen to us now until we sign off because there's
okay.
nothing that follows us.
All right.
So we can keep going until we're done.
Jeff, are you going to stick around or are you going to take off?
I'm gonna go and go to bed actually.
All right, so
Gotta
let's
get up early.
sign off. I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby, and we'll do overtime
Just-
except for Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Donoho.
And I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. Bye, everybody. And bye to Jeff. We'll stick around and finish this up, but get some sleep, Jeff.
Night.
Will do. Good night.
All right, talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, so the next, Sean, you don't have any way of eliminating our images, do you? Because that would
I can, yes.
make it easier to see the
Wait,
dress.
hold on. There's there we go. Yes, we have no images now.
Excellent. Okay, so this is Divine Joy Randolph in a couture denim look created for her by Gap. Creative director Zach Posen. And I just thought this was so neat because it's all these different colors of denim in the train of this dress.
It's pretty cool. Again, it looks very heavy.
Extremely heavy. Yeah. And then we have the next one is Lana Del Rey in a twig embroidered gown with coordinating headpiece and veil.
Yeah.
She's a tea bag.
This didn't really do. You said T and not D, right?
Yes, tea, like the beverage.
Tea bag, okay.
Yeah. And I don't mean anything icky by that. I just
Yeah, I
mean
know.
that, there's like a mesh around her.
It's it's weird. It's like poison ivy from
Yes, very much like
Batman.
Poison Ivy. I could see that. And then this was on my list of least favorites, this next one. This is Troy Sivan. And I don't have any, after this, I don't have any details on the designers.
Okay.
So, this is just not
This is
my thing.
kind of like he ordered his clothes, by Amazon, and there was a transporter accident.
Well, it's like he changed the top of, like he ordered a 2-piece suit and he didn't like the jacket, so he cut it into a halter top. Yeah, not a fan.
It's not really doing anything for me.
This next one is Barry Keegan. And he was on a worst dressed list. And I think this is delightful. Very sort of steampunk looking. I like the pins that he's wearing on his lapel. This really great, the tie that he's wearing, the cravat.
Yeah.
It's just really fun.
He's got like sort of a watch chain thing going on, with what looks like an oversized watch.
It's interesting that he has a watch fob, but he's also wearing a watch.
Right. And it's interesting that he's gone with a black hat and black shoes. Mm-hmm. That's really interesting. And this is velvet?
It looks velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. Yeah.
So definitely not on the worst dressed list. And then this next one is Doja Cat. She was also on a worst dressed list. I thought this was hysterical, having joked about this costume many a time.
Right.
She is wearing a towel.
The dripping mascara is a little over the top, I think.
The harder part for me is her tattoos draw my eye away from it. Yeah. And also the really weird tag that's on the towel that is like an IKEA
dress. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an IKEA
I wonder
tag.
If can I zoom in on these things?
I don't think so. No. Sorry. The way I cut and pasted them, I doubt you could.
It is pretty funny.
You might. Well, you can't edit it at all because we took it out of edit mode, so you wouldn't see all the edit stuff. So
no worries. I was just looking to see if I could zoom in a little bit more.
The next person is Cole Escola, who's dressed as his grandmother.
Right.
But how darling is that bag? And there were two people.
Little wicker.
There were two men actually that had dachshund bags. The other one was made out of leather, and I don't think I got that image in here. Oh, unfortunately. But yeah, this looks very much like someone's grandmother.
Right. It's this sort of strange spring bride kind of take. And the floody skirt is a little weird.
Yeah, it is. Like, with the cuff at the bottom.
Right. Yeah. That's what You're like, I'm not showing enough ankle. Roll that up.
Right. Here we have Paloma El Cesar. This is definitely not my favorite look. It looks like she's wearing old armor that has gone, like it was copper, and it has the turned green.
Yeah, the
verdigris. And I don't really like the skirt because I don't like that balloon look. And that's a whole thing, and I just am not a fan.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
And then we have Lauren Sanchez, who is very, very, very rich.
She's going to cut you with her cheekbones.
She is, but also with her dress, because it looks like she is a mosaic tile of dress. Right. And it makes her look oddly short on the bottom. I don't know if it's the colors of the design. I think this dress would have been 100 times better if they had made it T-length and had some really great shoes to go with it. Ooh. So that I think her feet would have balanced it out. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know what Hannah Bagshaw and Eddie Redmayne are wearing or doing. It's very confusing.
It looks like they're supposed to be wearing parts of each other's clothing.
Oh, you're right.
Because if it looks like they're sort of seeping into each other.
Yes.
Which is kind of an interesting
yeah, that's very clever.
And so, yeah, you can see where her dress is bleeding into him and his suit is bleeding into her.
But it does fall down at some points in that.
Yeah, it's not a perfect execution, but at least I can tell what they're going for.
Interesting. What?
I'm laughing at his ankles and his socks. Honestly, you know what I would have liked to have seen with this if he's going to go this route?
What?
Sock garters.
Yeah, that would have
old school
nice.
Sock garters to hold his socks up.
Yeah.
I think that would have been really kind of charming.
Yeah, I agree. And then we have Rita Ora and Taika Waititi. I hated both of these items, both of these clothing.
Taika Waititi got in a terrible accident at Wilson's for leather.
Yes, and forgot to wear. It's like he found all these individual pieces that just happened to be made of the same fabric and wore them all at once.
Leather color.
Like,
yeah.
no, those should be separates.
And I love the glove jammed like under the watch with the sleeve jammed above the watch, and it's like, look at my watch.
It is.
And
I am not a fan of that all one color.
Right. And she's wearing like a bodysuit, I guess.
She's like wearing a bodysuit and the curtain that her aunt had between her kitchen and her sewing room.
Yeah,
or something.
it's the bead door.
It's a beaded curtain. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is this just like so thin it shows her tattoos, or
is that on the fabric?
is it on the fabric? Yeah, I imagine she's probably tattooed.
Feel like it's tattoos. Yeah. Not a fan of this at all.
No.
And this next one is Gwendolyn Christie in custom Margiela. And
I laugh every time I see it. It's like her hair exploded.
so somebody on my Facebook feed described her hair as she made a wig out of that mat of hair that you pull out of your hairbrush.
Right.
And I totally see it.
Thanks to Andy Harrow for the happy birthday wishes.
Did you thank Beth for the happy birthday?
Yeah, I thought I did.
You did? Okay, great.
Yeah, I thought I sent her a note on chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I specifically went and tried to look her up. So, yeah, I mean, I can take bits of the dress. That's pretty great. You know, that the red part is kind of classic. She's wearing Mickey shoes, apparently. You know, like
they're yellow.
Yellow, whatever she's doing, yellow. And even the sort of overlay thing is, it's the hair.
And
that
how
gets
is she
me
holding
every
her
time.
bag? That's weird too. Very delicately.
Yeah, she's made like a hook out of her fingers.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons. But it's very Evil Queen. I mean, honestly, what more would you expect from Gwendolyn Christie?
Right. The next one is Ashley Graham, and honestly, I don't think I meant to include this one. Oh, I know why.
But since you
No,
have,
I did mean to include this. The reason I included it is because her skirt is see-through.
Right.
And like there were a lot of people, and I didn't include them in here, that were wearing this sort of, my dress is fine, except I have made this weird portion of my legs see-through. And it's always the legs, and it's just, I don't know, I just don't like it.
Right. Well,
It's not-
it's an easy way to show a lot of skin, for one.
But no.
And two, so this pose, this super popular pose of like one foot crossed in front of the other one to make you look really hippie, it's crazy popular right now, and it's not working particularly well with her bodysuit. It just looks really weird because it gets cut strangely.
I mean, is she wearing a bodysuit? That's a
groin.
skirt.
It looks like whatever she's wearing on top comes down and is a bodysuit underneath. It like it gives her sort of like a bikini coverage.
Oh, I see.
And then
okay.
because she's crossing her legs, it's cutting.
So you're
part
not
of that
talking
out.
about a bodysuit that goes over her legs.
No.
just the-
No, I'm talking about the traditional bodysuit. It's like a leotard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don says that that Gwendolyn Christie's hair looks like what he gets after he brushes his golden retrievers.
Right? Totally. Yeah, exactly. It's like poof.
The next dress is worn by Jessica Surfety, and it looks like she was making a homecoming float.
Right.
She took the extra flowers and went, "Oh, I could use these."
She rolled off the float in the glue.
Yes.
That's interesting. Are these? I guess they're not real flowers.
No, I think they're probably silk flowers.
This has a very Cruella de Vil trash dress vibe to me.
Yes. And the next dress is worn by Reese Feldman in Tom Brown. Oh, this is the other dachshund bag.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's pretty funny.
And I don't know how Reese identifies, so I don't actually know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I had said that was a man before, but I don't know.
But Reese looks like Al Franken.
Yeah. But I love this, except that if you look at the bottom of the skirt, there's like Adidas trim on the sides of the back bottom. Do you see that red, white, and blue?
Oh, yeah.
Stripe coming down?
It's
That
like,
is weird.
It's like a sport thing.
Yeah. And the one falling down white sock,
Right.
very bizarre. And I really hate these shoes.
Well, the falling down sock might be an accident. The striping, the sports striping is on purpose.
But the falling down sock is a different color than the other ankle. Like,
If both socks have those stripes at the very top, we're only seeing one that has fallen down. They could be long socks.
I feel like it's a statement.
Okay.
I don't know what the statement is, but I feel like it is.
Well, I
one.
was going to give them the benefit of the
But
doubt.
I do love the suit. Everything else about the suit, and this bag is just the best.
It's pretty adorable.
I don't know which one of the dachshund bags I love the most. They're both really cool.
And I'm not sure why the tag is still on it.
Oh, that is odd. Yeah.
Take off the tag.
And then we have J-Lo, who's wearing tree roots
Right.
that have been bedazzled. Or maybe a coral reef.
All right, so J-Lo is
And
almost
they all
exactly
center
our age.
in the center of her universe. How can she be our age?
She has phenomenal people to take care of her.
She has phenomenal skin. And like, not a wrinkle anywhere. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy is going to leave your parking spot now.
Hey, right on.
Awesome. Okay, next we have Leah Michelle, who is pregnant. And people kind of on my Facebook feed were making fun of the floofiness of her dress.
Right.
But honestly, doesn't it fit her personality?
Oh, completely. It honestly, she looks like a spray of water.
That's what some people were saying she's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think it really works. And huge kudos for not like crazy over exaggeration of her baby bump.
I mean, she is holding her hands underneath of it.
Well, she is, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I have seen so many people who are like, I'm wearing a bra, I'm wearing panties, look at my naked baby bump.
Yeah, that's icky.
And I just find that to be tedious because so many people do it. They're like, I am pregnant, worship me. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. But at any rate, I love this because it is so her.
Yeah, oh, completely.
Yeah.
I think it works really well.
And then we have...
Lisa said that J-Lo was wearing a variation on the same dress she's been wearing for the last 20 years. You are not wrong.
But maybe like there's a painting of her in her basement, and that's why she has no
That's why
wrinkles.
she keeps wearing that. It's like they just keep reconfiguring the same sparkles because that's what's keeping her young.
Right. Okay, so then we've got Coleman Domingo, and I don't like this, and yet
I like bits of it.
What are those? Are those like sleeves? Is it a cape?
The black like trumpet splash lily something whatever is going on there. It doesn't do anything for me. I do like this kind of cape thing that's over top. It looks like it's coming.
Like, is it an entire cape or is it just sleeves?
It's coming off the shoulders. It looks like.
Right.
And it looks like it goes all the way down.
But it's part of the jacket.
Is it?
Yes. Look at the shoulders.
Yeah.
It's part of the jacket.
It's hard to tell with the wide collar.
No, it is part of the jacket. Because you can tell in the where the armpit is.
Well, but I see it covers the armpit.
Yeah. It's
So.
part of the jacket.
It looks like it's a separate piece over top, but hard to tell. I need more. I need. To
I
look at video.
suppose I'm looking at. Okay, I take it back. If I look at the other arm
If
by
you
the
look
black
at the
trumpet
left
thing,
shoulder, you can see
it does look like it's a separate
goes all the way
piece.
up. If you look at the right shoulder, it looks like it blends
Yeah.
in. So it's hard to tell. He also looks AI because he's got the wrong number of fingers going on.
I think he's scratching one of his fingers. You know how you
it
kind
just
of do?
looks really weird. And
Yeah.
see, so then he's got the lilies over here. I don't know.
It's interesting how he's got the black lilies on his shoulder, and then
Yeah.
on the opposite side he's holding the white lilies. That's kind of cool. I think I might change my mind and say that I do like this.
Okay. I'm not sold on the black lilies. I understand the desire for a splash of something up there. I get that. But I'm not entirely sure. And may I also point out the very surprised photographer to his right? I think that's very funny. The right of the picture, there's a guy who's trying to get the camera going. He's like, whoa! I just like his face.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have Alex Sharp, who
Is wearing a kabuki mask.
or a bullfighting costume.
Well, the cummerbund is definitely lips.
Oh yeah,
which
it
is
is.
pretty
That's
funny.
what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a face.
And yeah, he does look like he's about to go fight a bull.
Yeah. And then we have
Yeah, it's not
Jay
bad.
Harrison G,
She's a bug.
who is a bug.
That's awesome. And
A fluffy bug.
Can I just say too? Not only is she a bug, she is obviously having a good time.
Yes.
That's great. She's not trying to look like super cool, not doing whatever. She's laughing her ass off.
Yeah, she's
I love that.
like got the spirit of
mean,
everything.
Would you not be this excited to be at the frickin' Met?
Oh my
Gala?
gosh. When we go to New York City, I'm going to have to stand on those steps
I know, we
just to
gotta walk up the
pretend
steps
that I'm at
just
the
to-
Met Gala.
Just to do it, right.
Except I won't be wearing anything good.
But yeah, I mean, this is it. This completely embodies the spirit of everything. She's
You know
having
how-
fun. She looks awesome.
You know how people have Oscar parties?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think people should really have Met Gala parties where you dress up in something amazing or out there. And like whatever the theme is, if you were to do it this year, you would have taken the same theme that they have of the Garden of Time. You arrive in something like that, and then everybody sits around and watches the red carpet for the Met Gala. How fun would that be?
I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have Dove Cameron in Diesel. And she has really amazing sleeves.
Dove Cameron is really interesting. I don't remember where I first saw her. I think it was probably like Once Upon a Time, or it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or some such thing. I think she was from Descendants, the Disney Descendants movie or something like that.
Okay.
And she is one of those like impossibly beautiful people.
Oh, really?
And that like her name is Dove, and you look at her and you go, well, they must have had a picture of her now to name her, because she's like got this whole thing going on.
Right.
And then her clothing choices are like very frequently way out there. And
I would be interested in seeing some more images of this to see exactly what's going on. If those really are sleeves or,
some of
or
these
what's going on
require
there.
video, I think.
Right. Yes.
Where you need to see them on video.
Well, that's why I think we should have a viewing party and actually watch the red carpet, which I've never done.
Well, I think
Sadly.
I think we should. And that's, I mean, it's not a problem as long as we, plan it in advance. And
Right.
of course, what day was the Met Gala held on?
It was on like Tuesday or something.
Right. I mean, so
Yeah.
that's kind of a problem.
They
if
need to
it's
have it on a
weekday.
Saturday.
And if it's around May 4th, forget it.
Yeah, well, it always will be. So next we have Emily Ratajkowski.
I'm looking at the back. I'm looking at the back of the woman on the right in the picture. It's the curtain dress.
Oh,
It's
it
the
is.
beaded curtain dress.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem entirely thrilled with the rear coverage.
Right.
Emily Ratajkowski.
She forgot her underwear.
She did in a big way.
Yeah.
She's all nude.
Yep.
Like in a nude way. Interesting.
She's all nude in a nude way.
Well, because we were talking about people who were nude but not nude.
Right. Yes.
And
she's
like,
Neil
my areolas.
Gaiman's ex-wife's. She's that level of nude.
Right. I can't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about. Lisa will tell us who it is because we can't remember.
Right, because Lisa has all that information. And then we have Ariana Grande, who just looks charming.
She does. A little startled.
Well, startled, yes. But I think her dress looks very charming.
Oh, Amanda Palmer. That's who we were trying to think of.
Yes, Amanda
Palmer.
Palmer.
She'd have it.
I knew it was. Right? Yes.
Yeah, you know what? And I will go on record. I absolutely adore Ariana Grande. She has been so much fun on talk shows and goofing off. She's a phenomenal vocal impressionist in terms of singers. So she's a singer, but she'll sit there and she can like mimic all of these other singers. She's really good at it. And so she can like bust out a Celine Dion that would just have you on the floor, both because it's funny, but just so freaking amazing. So I actually really like her from what I've seen. I don't have much of a frame of reference for her actual music, but yeah, I think she's pretty cool.
Well, the see-through dress where she's what did you say? Nakedly naked?
Right. She's nude.
Is backless.
Oh, wow. Yeah. She's like live nudes.
Yeah.
Level. Yeah.
Okay, so
I like this. I like that it's got some color to the skirt. It's
I
not
didn't
just
notice
like
that.
White,
You're
but
right.
There's a little green. There's a little pink.
Yeah.
It's very faint.
But it's
good.
there. And then standing behind her in that picture is Cynthia Erivo.
Oh.
And
that's a neat looking dress.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think I like it better from the back than the front, though.
This is the front.
I don't like the business suit aspect of it, and it's kind of...
That's weird.
Like, it doesn't look like it fits.
It looks like her navel's escaping. It's like, let me out! Navel escape.
Wow.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, so then
and her purse is a weapon.
Her purse is a weapon?
Yeah, see the way she's holding the purse.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, I will kill you with my purse.
Right. Then we have Kim Kardashian, who is also in Margiela. I feel like Margiela dressed maybe 30% of the people on the red carpet.
Right.
And the only reason I included this is because...
Everybody was talking about her tight waisting.
I don't know what everybody was talking about, but I hate that she tight-waisted. I don't like when people tight-waist. I think it's ugly and dangerous.
This whole look... And this is dumb for me to say about the Kardashians because I don't really care about the Kardashians at all. They're not like on my radar. We saw them in person once and went,
As in you and I, or
yeah, you and I. We saw, or maybe it was just me. We were down at the CVS pharmacy. They had a fragrance collection they were releasing at the pharmacy. Very exciting.
I think that was just you.
There was a huge line outside the building. We had to go inside for something.
Oh, maybe that was me.
And we're like, oh, look, it's the Kardashians.
I don't know. I wouldn't have recognized a Kardashian anyway.
This whole thing here, this entire look.
Plus, did she like at the last minute go, oh, I'm going to be cold and picked up like a sweater that she had been wearing to the gym?
Right. She's like, I only want to show one breast. This is Cher. This whole look is completely Cher.
Yeah.
Everything about it. There's nothing new here. There's like, I don't know, and I don't think she's gaining much by the tight waisting. And the sweater
just makes it look weird.
The
and
sweater
the
does
sweater
look like
is
an afterthought.
odd.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Okay, and then we've got Janelle Monáe.
Always does something wacky.
Yes, and this is like, again, one of those beaded curtain kind of things, except this one's made out of that weird mother of pearl shell pieces.
Right. Yeah. I feel very much, and Jeff isn't here for this, unfortunately, because he'd appreciate this. I feel that Janelle Monáe is channeling Gozer from Ghostbusters.
Right.
She's
Oh
got
my
she got the
gosh.
flat top, right? And she's got the little bubble dress thing
Yeah.
going
And
on.
what's with that woman on her right? I mean, I guess she's on her left, isn't she? Yeah.
Right. She's doing. I think she's over there doing the robot.
Right.
Even know who that is.
Next we have Jaden Smith, who has also got that weird.
Is it just Jaden or is his girlfriend? Or
It's
his sister
just
there?
Jaden,
Just Jaden. Okay.
and he's got that the Adidas thing at the bottom of his skirt hem
Oh, he does. Yeah. I wonder
or
if that's
cape. I don't quite know what he's wearing.
Probably a designer's signature. The
Probably.
little red, white, and blue tape.
Yeah. Thought it was Adidas.
Jaden always looks disaffected, bored, and lost to me. And this is no different. He never looks like he's engaging with anything. And I always kind of wonder why he is places.
Oh, it's Tom Brown, the designer.
That's his signature?
His signature is a red, white, and blue ribbon.
Okay, well, there we
Yeah.
go.
Now we know.
Mystery solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It's...
I mean, he doesn't look any more disaffected than any of the other models, so
Yeah, I
that's
guess
he
not.
looks like a model. But I don't know what he's wearing.
Yeah, no.
Like he went into a clothing factory and bits fell into a
Well,
sewing machine and all got sewn together and
Right.
with
So
a bunch of belts and buttons and things.
The jacket is like sort of this weird ode to the prisoner inverted thing. And then the pants look very Asian. He's got this, except the problem is, to me, so he's wearing pants and then has sort of skirting over it. And the skirting looks like a backwards chef apron to me.
Yeah.
It looks like he's been in a kitchen
Right.
and went, oh crap, I have to be on the red carpet right now.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's like some sort of pocket or something. And it's vaguely an Asian vibe. And kind of, jacket aside, I'm kind of down with the pants. But the jacket's really not doing anything.
Feel
for me.
like it's mostly the jacket that I'm commenting on, but I feel like this is one of those ones because of the color of the pants, how
Yeah.
dark they are, that it's one that you almost have to see in person to be able to figure out what's going on.
That's probably true. And again, this is probably a video thing where you need to see it move in video and see how it's working. Dawn says it looks like he's standing on a stool.
He says sitting on a stool.
Or sitting on a stool.
And I think that's because he's doing that one-legged front
Right.
that is bent.
Yeah. I don't
to
know. I wore a lot of weird pants
cock
in
your
the
hip.
80s as a teen, so
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I'd
Yeah.
probably wear something like that.
And then we have Cardi B,
Cardi B
who is
exploded.
lost in a black hole.
Yo-ho-to-ho.
And she's got Marge hair.
She does.
She has Marge Simpson hair. So now we know.
Gala. Anybody want to come to the Met Gala?
God, now we know what Marge Simpson would wear to the gala. They're going to have Simpsons as a theme some year, and we'll all look back at this and laugh.
I'm down for a Met Gala animated night. That would be
Right.
amazing. I would love to see what people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. She completely looks like she's Marge Simpson playing Ursula for The Little Mermaid.
Yes. Definitely.
Poor unfortunate souls.
A little more Mo than Marge. but-
Laura wants to know how people didn't walk on her dress.
I'm sure she got to a spot, somebody fluffed her out,
Yeah.
and they took a bunch of pictures, and then somebody gathered her together, and then
I think each person has like 4 with these big costumes. I'm sure there are other people that are just regular, but with these big costumes, you have like 4 or 5 minions or ninjas who are there to help you out. This is Cara Delevingne.
Delevingne.
Yes.
You know what she's saying right here? I fart in your general direction.
100%. She's a silly French knigget. Oh.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father
Father
smells of elderberries.
Yes, but with bling.
Right, with bling. With bling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a chain mail-y kind of thing. This is not bad.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It looks like, based on this picture, like she either had removed or she covered up a tattoo. There's like a rectangle on her arm.
Yeah, that is weird. Or maybe there's just makeup over it and she did a really bad job.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
What's she got? Her skirt's fine.
Yeah.
And what's actually really interesting is that she's got the whole, like, I am not showing you my navel.
Yes.
She's completely covered.
She's got the I Dream of Jeannie thing going on.
This is surprisingly demure for the type of dress it is. And for Cara Delevingne, who's very frequently like, I'm gonna show you
nude.
I'm gonna show you everything. Yeah. It's actually pretty kind of cool. This would be a very fancy like Galaxy's Edge costume. I could see somebody kind of doing this. She needs a few more accessories. But it's not bad.
There was
or she needs a leku or something.
There was a dress in this gala that looks like a Galaxy's Edge, like a episode 8. Is that where they had the casino? Episode 8?
Yeah.
It looks like one of those dresses from the casino.
Canto Bite.
Yeah, or maybe one from the one with the glasses in episode 7. She owns the bar and she has big giant glasses. Maz.
Oh, Maz.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't get this in here, I don't think, because I didn't see it in enough time. The next dress is Nicki Minaj, and she just looks adorable. Or her dress looks adorable.
This is kind of the best I've seen Nicki Minaj look in a while.
Oh.
I'm usually not much of a fan. She's always kind of weird. Here's this weird cross-legged, look at my big hips stance again.
I think that's a take on the sort of popping your hip thing that people tell you to do.
It's really popular now.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been like for a while. It's like people are like, oh, we all have to do this now.
She looks good in that color yellow. I could never pull that off.
Well, we had that discussion too, where certain skin tones just look really good in yellow and orange and stuff, and they are not white people.
It's funny that I like this much better than the one that kind of looked like it was done in a craft store with paper flowers or like a float.
Well, because
I can't remember who that was.
This spaces the flowers out, and this all does really look like craft store stuff.
It does.
The yellow part of the dress looks like it's been painted on her. And then the flowers that are stuck all look like they were white and then hand painted.
They do.
And then stuck on. And there's a certain charm to it, I think, that the other dress didn't not have.
The other one didn't. It's like the flowers weren't placed thoughtfully on the other dress. And this one they are.
And this kind of is, and a couple are hanging off and things like that.
And that cute little handbag.
I had to double check the handbag just to make sure it wasn't like an animal cracker box or something.
It's about the size of an animal cracker box, and it doesn't even look big enough to hold her phone. So I'm guessing she's got a lipstick.
Yeah, lipstick in there.
Yeah. See, Dawn says her nails are scary. That is in fact correct.
Yeah, well, most women's nails are generally scary.
Those really pointy nails freak me right out.
Oh, I just want a back scratch, man. I look at those things and go, I want a back
Not
scratch.
happening. Not happening. We're almost done here, I think. Yeah. The next one is Georgina Chapman. And I couldn't tell at first. I just thought this was like something black and white.
She's sort of an orchid.
But yeah, she's sort of an orchid.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then we've got Dan Levy. And it's like he was wearing a suit and he stepped into a magical garden and it started climbing up him.
To bleed up on him.
Yeah. Or he's waking up really from a dream or something.
Like here, he's just like in a tux.
Yeah.
And then you start to scroll.
But why has he got a porn stash?
Could be a part he's doing right now.
Oh,
or
probably.
something. Maybe it's an ode to his father,
Maybe. Yeah.
who recently passed away.
And his dress shoes look like clown shoes.
He did pass away, didn't he?
I didn't think so, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, he did not pass away. He's still quite with us. I'm thinking of another SCTV guy.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't bad. And I think it works really well. I'm curious about how the fade is done.
He's on a lot of the best dress lists.
It's
Although, actually, I think he was on the worst dress list, too.
really? No,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty classy.
I think it's neat.
I think it's pretty cool. He's not over the top. He didn't it's a classic silhouette, and he didn't go with like some weird transparently flowy skirt, something like that. Very few people can pull that. Like a Billy Porter can pull that off. I don't
Right.
think Dan Levy can pull that off.
Right, yeah.
But I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I wish the pattern didn't quite repeat as much as it does. That my OCD picks that up.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
You have to be careful because, borderline bed sheets.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But the black takes that away a little bit. If there were a different color background, it might not take
I
it
guess
away.
that's our last picture.
Yeah, well...
Do you have any honorable mentions that we need to look
So, no. Oh, I didn't... You know what? I edited it and you can't see it. Weird. That is not our last picture.
Oh.
Our last picture is Brie Larson in Prada.
Okay, well, I switched it over to editing mode.
And there you go.
And now I'm going to switch it back to view mode. If I can figure out where the hell it is. View.
Two more over. It's under view.
Mode.
Yeah. Mode is at the top.
There we go. I found it.
Oh.
It's there. I just had to
I
get to it.
remember I'm behind when I look at your things. I like this.
Oh, this is really
Except
straightforward.
that I don't like it. Like, I like it and I don't like it because,
I like everything except the rigidity of the skirt.
well, it's like she's wearing the tent that you put over your food at a
To
picnic.
keep mosquitoes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the part I don't like. I
Like-
don't like that it's boxy like
When I first looked at it, I liked the overlay of it because it looked very spacey. And then when I realized it was square at her hips, I didn't like that.
No, that's the part I don't like. If they didn't have the cross beams, or maybe they had rounded it out instead of making it a box or something more hoopy and less square. I think I would have liked it.
Okay, so I do have a few more. There's an article that you can put in. I'm putting it in the DB94 chat.
Okay.
So you can load that up. It's 28 more photos. Some of them we've already seen, so you can just skip right by them.
Alrighty. Let me whip this over here. There we go.
And then we'll be done when we're finished looking at this one.
Wow, oh, this must be a photo collage. I'm like, that's a heck of a group portrait.
Yeah, it's a collage.
Okay. We saw the sand dress. We just talked about Brie Larson in Prada. We saw Elle Fanning. Her dress was. It even looks good from the side. I think she just really knocked that out of the park.
Yeah.
It's a good look for her.
Yeah, it is.
I just can't believe she's that old already.
I know.
Somehow. Bad Bunny. Demi Moore we saw.
And here's the first one that we hadn't seen yet.
Right.
This is Rebecca Hall in Danielle Frankel. And there's a description that says, Hall looked like Ophelia come to life with her flowering dress and body ornaments. This is interesting because she's wearing gloves and then her skin is painted above the gloves. So it's almost like you
Right.
can't tell where her dress ends and her skin begins.
Right. Yeah, and I thought that was kind of cool. And
I don't like her hair, though.
It's sort of but I like the flowers are blowing off of her look.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
I feel like her hair is supposed to be part of a statement somehow, but I don't know what it's trying to say, and it makes the overall look one of a shower curtain.
Right, because she looks like she's in the shower. She's got a sheen to her skin. She looks wet. Her hair looks wet.
If her hair were dry and bouncy,
Yes.
I would think that this would look, and she could have like flowers in her hair too.
Yeah.
That would look amazing.
If her hair looked as equally windblown as the flowers on her, that would have been great.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, obviously somebody spent an awful lot of time attaching flowers to this dress or painting them on or doing whatever. They are very distinctively different, all of the flowers that are on it. So.
It looks very much like there is an artist that did paintings that were gold. And it is Gustav Klimt. Oh. She looks like Gustav Klimt.
Well, this is very Morticia Addams.
This is Emma Chamberlain in Jean-Paul Gaultier. Special host Chamberlain opted to represent the thornier side of the garden in this gothic Jean-Paul Gaultier.
This is very Amanda Palmer.
Yes, it is.
It's not bad, and if you're going for the whole goth look, it's pretty good.
The ribbons that are trailing her are a little strange. Like, I get the ribbons that are coming off her arms, but I don't get the ribbons at the back of the gown.
That are part of the train. It's probably just a funky tentacle, viney look.
Yeah, I guess so. I like her gloves or the vines that go up her arms.
Right,
I think those are really cool.
She's got going on.
And then we have Lewis Hamilton in Burberry. He used his look to honor John Eastumlin, the UK's first black gardener. That's interesting.
The UK's first black
gardener.
Interesting.
So, looks nice.
Yeah,
and then the thorny collar.
Cool,
yeah, that's interesting.
I like
and
the
floral
subtlety,
earrings.
The subtlety on the jacket with the floral pattern is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty classic look.
And then we've got
I remember seeing
Camilla Cabella in Ludovic de Saint-Cernin and Jane Wade.
Yeah, this was
this is the ice block woman.
Yeah, this was kind of an interesting look where her clutch purse, which isn't really a purse at all, is the block of glass with a rose in it.
Except it looks like an ice cube.
It does.
If you look at it from the side, it looks like very much like an ice cube.
Yeah, it's a big block of
and
like
her
acrylic
dress looks like it got stuck in the escalator.
At the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it kind of does. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't see the bottom. She's I feel like her foundation at the top could be a little better because she looks really mashed.
Bodice.
Yeah, she looks really
kind of
mashed
does.
and uncomfortable.
I couldn't tell if you meant her makeup foundation or her undergarments.
Her undergarments.
Yeah,
she just looks like she's going for cleavage, which is fine. It just looks really uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then we have Kendall Jenner in Archival Givenchy by Alexander McQueen. I don't like the part at her waist that is flesh tone. Because it looks like she's missing part of her dress.
It looks like it's falling off her, which might be the intent, but it looks like it's been pulled apart.
Honestly, I have not been a huge fan of Alexander McQueen.
I like his brother Lightning.
I
haven't seen the Kardashians wear much that I've been impressed with either.
And usually they don't wear much.
Right.
Then we're back to Zendaya in two of her looks. And then this one, I just got to see this in this article. This is the only place I've seen this sort of butterfly wing dress that
gosh.
I love.
Wow, this is crazy.
This is Iris Law in Archival Versace. The model snagged a piece from Versace Fall 2002 for the Met.
That's cool.
And it looks like it's made out of butterfly wings.
It looks like a thing that Mia Farrow would wear.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I kind of dig that, and it's nice that it's an old piece.
And also, like, this one shows, like, parts of her legs through the dress in a, you know, you can see my legs through this, that I don't find icky the way that other people.
It's not in a porny way.
Yeah, it's very tasteful and classy.
Lisa's like, well, I mean, he's been dead for a while, so it's not like he's making much new stuff.
True. And I guess I'm speaking ill of the dead there, so.
Whatever.
Yeah. Back to Dan Levy. And then there's the back of naked Emily Ratajkowski.
Dan Levy really does look like he's being like transported into a garden from the Enterprise.
It does, because of that little band of like sheer that's over the
where
thing.
like it does a crossfade at his waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really pretty interesting.
It's neat.
Oh yeah, wow.
I kind of like the train though. You can't see the train from the front.
Mm-mm.
But it is the naked dress.
Right. Well, at least you can pull it off.
Like, oh, honey, there was supposed to be an underdress with that.
Right.
You left it on the hanger. Ayo Edebiri in Low. For her Met Gala debut, the actor turned to Low for a sweet garden party gown. And this is just charming.
It is. I have a
little bit of side boob.
Overwhelming urge to try to read her tattoo.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. Which is I always find weird with people who write things around their body, and it's like.
So it has a little bit more side boob than I prefer, but the dress itself looks like Mary Englebright.
Yeah, a little bit maybe.
I like Mary Englebright, so it's not
Yeah.
like I'm saying it's a bad thing.
Mm.
And then we've got Greta Lee in Low. While Low went all in on florals for the evening, Jonathan Anderson showed off his range with Lee's sheer sculptural dress.
I don't know. I appreciate a dress that can incorporate a sneeze guard. I would feel very safe getting salad around her.
This also reminds me of Zool.
Yeah, a little bit. A little more floral than that, but sure.
Yeah. Well, it's the lighter side of Zool.
The lighter side of Zool.
And then we've got Wisdom K in Robert 1. The model played with a theme of decay in this floor-sweeping Robert 1 coat. Extra points for the floral reference. Oh, there's a rose on his
so
lapel.
It's got kind of like a moldering look.
It looks like he got burned.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think it's supposed to be like mold and deteriorate. You ever see flowers do this where they get rough around the edges? I think it's supposed to mimic that.
It looks like he stopped at Mustafar on his way to the banquet and was like, oh, man, now I have to go with all this Mustafar stuff going on.
You will go to the Met Gala.
And then we've got Carly Kloss in Swarovski. In this crystal-laden dress, the model reminded us of the ephemerality of the garden. That was harder to say than I thought it would.
Ephemerality. Wow.
Yeah.
As opposed to effin' morality.
Yes. And she's hiding an entire person behind her.
She is.
Just their foot
Just
is
their
sticking
leg
out.
is coming out. And it's hovering there, lurking, waiting.
And then we're back to Nicki Minaj. And then we've got Odell Beckham Jr. in Bodie. The athlete's Bodie jacket was a perfect garden scene.
His tie is interesting.
Yes.
The problem with that tie is it looks like you could grab both ends of it and strangle him with it.
The trim that is around the
bric-a-brac
jackets.
stuff?
Like, I think I have some of that.
Yeah, it's very standard, like bric-a-brac kind of.
Yeah, wow.
I'm not sure it adds much. I mean, maybe it's like supposed to be a softening factor or something.
It makes it look cheap.
Yeah, it kind of does, and it doesn't.
Like that trim you could get at Michael's.
Yeah, and it's the problem is that it like jumps out. Like I'm looking at all the flowers and stuff, and I'm like, cool.
And they're in the background.
And I'm looking at the trim, and it's like girly. It's like it's on the wrong garment.
But look, the one thing that I really like, the detail I like, is at his waistband, at his hem.
Yeah.
Down there, one of the flowers is dripping off.
Yeah, I like that.
I like
too.
that. I do not like that trim at all.
That didn't work. I tried to zoom in, and I failed.
Whoops.
There we go.
And then we go past Gigi Hadid, and till we get to Mona Patel and Iris Van Herpen. This Iris Van Herpen couture butterfly dress was a celebration of the garden's inhabitants. It's a very bad picture because
it's very far away.
It's very far away. They're trying to get the train in, which I get because I would have wanted to see that, but I can't really. I wouldn't have been able to tell this was a butterfly at all. You're having some problems, aren't you?
I'm resetting everything because my Zoom attempt didn't really work in. There's this bar on the side that's just not really letting me get into the pictures any bigger.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that the photographer's not really doing her any favors over here.
Yeah,
If this
because
was the
why did
best
they
picture they could choose?
Why did they get those other two people in? They could have zoomed in by at least that much.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
it's not very good.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see Queen Latifah.
Yeah, Queen Latifah and Tom Brown paying homage to Birds of Paradise.
Interesting. So very, very shiny underdress. Although her trim makes me think of piano.
It does.
I like piano keys. Not bad.
She
also looks like she's kind of having a good time. I'm down with that.
Right. That's good. Back to Lana Del Rey and Alexander McQueen. And then we've got Uma Thurman in Tory Burch, inspired by an extinct butterfly. Burch fashioned a swarm of Thurman's own butterflies. The extinct butterfly in question is... Oh, come on. Sweeping iridescent periwinkle dress made of taffeta and affixed with 3D butterflies in an array of purples and blues. The hand-painted creatures... the American Xerxes blue. That reminded the designer of Uma Thurman's eyes.
Okay. Uma Thurman has put on a little weight. Let me say she looks great.
She looks fantastic. I didn't even recognize her.
This is the best I've seen her look in a long time.
Yeah.
I always feel like she's way too skinny.
Right.
I think she looked great.
She looks really great here. Yeah. And those butterflies, I was busy looking for the butterflies. I like those. Those are neat. I think I would have wanted more on the dress as opposed to just having them in a fall from the shoulders down her back. I would have liked to have seen them on the skirt.
Yeah. Around the border, maybe.
Yeah.
Would have been nice. What's that, taffeta?
Yeah, it's taffeta. And then we have Morgan Spector in Willie Chavaria. The actor adorned his cherry red jacket with oversized poppies. And he's wearing black gloves with a ring over them.
I keep thinking of like Flanders and what's the day in Britain where you wear the poppy?
November. It's like Veterans Day. It's the same. Yeah.
That's what it makes me think of.
And finally, we have Eiza Gonzalez in Delcourt. Delcourt turned the actor into a human flower.
Oh, I think that's lovely.
And she has just a lovely face too. She looks very sweet.
She does. She's got a very Snow White vibe going on there.
She does.
Let's get her. I'm not sure that her necklace is going with the dress. It looks a little out of place.
It does.
But I think
I think I would have liked to have seen a little more color.
Yeah, it's very faint. It's very, very pale. She could, definitely use...
Like, she could take some of the color from that dress behind her.
Right, the purple glowing thing.
Right.
But, and I like that she's sort of like suggesting and like drawing attention to her chest without showing her chest. Mm-hmm. It's like very subtle, and it's like, hey, I'm sexy, but I'm not gonna flash you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really. Who
all right.
was the
Well,
designer in this dress?
we went exactly an hour over, and we should go to bed now.
We should indeed. Let me get back to this. See if I can. That's my face. Let's get us. There we go. Sean and Colleen. You have been listening, watching, doing whatever to Docking Bay 94. I'll be on the air again tomorrow at 9 a.m. To do Good Morning Tatooine. You can find me here on sci-fi.radio. That is the URL. Or you can ask Alexa to listen to sci-fi.radio and hear us there. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will wrap out the week with our usual music morning show, which will be very fun. Big thanks to Kit for doing our show document. She got here very late at like 10 o'clock. But no worries.
9 o'clock.
We are still...
It's 10 o'clock now.
Right, 9 o'clock. We're still grateful for her and all the work that she does. The show is available on YouTube if you want to check that out, and the replay of my morning show will be on in an hour if you're still up. So, to the guys, all y'all over there on sci-fi.radio who are listening in, thank you for being there. I'm going to cut you guys off. See ya.
Bye.
And to the folks who are watching us over on video, thank you so much for being here. I have a credit screen there. Our theme, if you can remember back that far, was from Cosmomoose, Chris Medway, over on cosmomoose@bandcamp.com. He writes some really good music. You might want to check him out. We will be back again next week with more of the same and a lot less Met.
Night, everybody.
Good night. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.